dirt, no rest for the real. Still spine straight, I'm a soldier, no chill. Snakes in the grass, they creep and conceal. 20/30 vision, better sharpen your steel. We won't stop, I won't quit. Stand for the truth, no counterfeit. Real ones rise, let the fake ones split. Repent for the lies, let the darkness live. Echoes in the swamp, whispers in the wind. Legacy to build, can't let the devil win. Cash rules the weak, but my soul don't bend. 20/30 knocking, better cleanse that sin. They want us to sleep, but the light stays on. Fake smiles, fake friends, all of them gone. Cages of comfort, we breaking out strong. Roots in the south, but the fight's lifelong. We won't stop, I won't quit. Stand for the truth, no counterfeit. Real ones rise, let the fake ones split. Repent for the lies, let the darkness live. Prepare for the storm, skies turning gray. The wolves in the suit got dues to pay. From the ashes we climb, no time to delay. The real ones prepare for the judgment day. Yeah.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to ARP in the morning. I'm your brother Wise, man. I appreciate you guys pulling up this morning. I want to make sure that we're not having any technical difficulties real fast. Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me just fine. Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me just fine. Let me know. I want to make sure that we're good to go here. But appreciate you guys. All right, perfect. I think we're good. All right. Appreciate you guys pulling up today, man. Grace and peace to each and every one of you guys on this fine Friday morning. Thank you guys for pulling up so much and hanging out with us. Appreciate you guys so much. We got a heck of a show for you guys. We got a lot to get into today. I promise you this is going to be the fastest 2.5 hours of your day. We have the usual suspects in the building minus Minister Denzel today. Minister Denzel will not be with us this morning. He's got some duties today. He's actually ministering I believe at a senior citizen home this morning. So let's make sure we keep him lifted up in prayer, and hopefully he will do a great job ministering to those folks, in the senior citizen home out there in New York. So shout out to him. If you're checking us out, Minister Denzel, man, God bless you, brother. Shout out to Celeste from Celeste_Duffy. Shout out to Crystal from Crystal Beyond Labels. Shout out to AT from Faith Under Fire, as well as the leader of the Garden Project. My brother Jay Witt is in the building from the Jay Witt podcast. And we also have a newbie joining the show today, I believe. Yeah, we got Rashad in here from the Black Anomaly Rising show on YouTube. So check him out. Blues, if you can, go and look up Black Anomaly Rising. We want to make sure that it gets posted in the chat. Be on the lookout today for Ask Me Anything from my sister Celeste, as well as, y'all already know what time it is, man. Gutter Bunny of the Week. We got a lot of votes in, so I'm looking forward to that. I haven't taken the time to look at it this morning, but I'm sure the Gutter Bunny of the Week will be well-deserved. I'm for certain of it. I got to show some love to my folks in the chat. Before we get started, man, I want to make sure that we get the day started off properly. Shout out to my brother Hunter coming through with the verse of the day. Today's verse is out of Psalms, and it says, oh, give me 1 second. Let me see if I can find him. All right, here we go. Shout out to Hunter, always coming through with the verse of the day. So this is out of Psalms. The wicked plot against the righteous and gnash their teeth at them but the Lord laughs at the wicked, for he knows their day is coming. That is Psalms chapter 37, verse 12 and 13. Shout out to my brother Hunter, always coming through with the verse and the one that's always on time. So shout out to him. Shout out to my brother Malachi. Peace and blessings from Grand Rapids, Michigan. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you, man. We're going to get the show started here in a quick second. Let me show some love to my folks in the chat really quickly. What up, Steve Berge? What's up, Lori Oddison? How you doing? What's up, Deb? How you doing this morning? It's good to see you in the chat. What up, Hadassah? How's it going this morning? It's good to see you in the chat as well. Who else we got up in here? We got a lot of folks in here early. What up, Nanny? How you doing this morning? It's good to see you in the chat. Appreciate you. What's up, Sonny? Teddy Marcel in the building. Appreciate you pulling up this morning, brother. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Who else we got in here? Okay. Angela Montgomery in the building. Shout out to you. Appreciate you pulling up this morning. New Jersey in the house. What up, Eric Smith? How's it going, man? Appreciate you. What up, Latrice? How you doing? It's good to see you. Appreciate you pulling up this morning. What up, Donald Love Joyce? Been a little minute, man. I haven't seen you in the chat in a while, man. What's up, Donald? How you doing, man? Hope all is well. Papa died in the building. Shout out to you, brother. Appreciate you pulling up. Appreciate you. D. Saray in the building. Shout out to you. What's up, Krista Knight? How you doing this morning? Good to see you in the chat. LS in the building. A-Town in the house. Shout out to you, brother. Always pulling up, man. Appreciate you. What up, Cool Ramon? How's it going, man? It's good to see you in the chat this morning. Is that more chapters? Hopefully I pronounced that properly. Appreciate you pulling up this morning. What's up, Marla? How's it going? What up, Karen? How you doing this morning? It's good to see you in the chat. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate you guys. All right, looks like everybody can hear me okay. Shout out to my brother Kenny Cooper. Where you been at, Kenny? You know what I'm saying? I know ever since you told us you got that big old truck you done spent all that money on, we ain't seen you. I hadn't seen you in a while. He says, bro, what happened to your face? I'm here watching in Denver, Colorado, and business is going good and making money. I can dig it. It's been a little bit. I hadn't seen you in the chat, man, but it's good to see you, man. Appreciate you, Kenny. Appreciate you. It was time to change it up, man. It was time to change it up. It seems like, folks like it, though. Folks like it. Folks appreciate it. Who else we got up in here? Shout out to Billy joining the ARP family. Appreciate you. Appreciate you supporting the channel. Shout out to Lloyd McElney. Hopefully I pronounced that properly. Thank you very much for joining the ARP family. I appreciate the support. Thank you to Rashid Ashby joining the ARP family. Thank you very much, man. Appreciate the support. What's up, Nanny? Coming through with the $2 super chat. Says God bless Wise panel and all the ARP family. God bless you as well, sister. Appreciate you pulling up, as always, helping to keep things peaceful in the chat. Shout out to Michael Royce coming through, joining the ARP family. Appreciate the support. Thank you very much. Appreciate you. And shout out to Tanya Spelly. Hope I pronounced that properly. Thank you for joining the ARP family as well. I appreciate you guys supporting what we're doing over here, man. Shout out to my brother Malachi. Thank you guys so much. We'll let you guys know that today's show is brought to you by the Garden Project. You know, I go through the whole spiel and some of you guys get mad at me for doing so, so I'm not going to do that today. But I do want to let you guys know, go check out the Garden Project. Go to gardenproject.com. Go check out what they're doing over there. If you have any questions, shoot me a message. I will get you pointed in the right direction. Shout out to my brother AT, man. I'm looking forward to the good things that their good people over at the Garden Project will be doing to, in the very near future. So if you're interested, please go check out thegardenproject.com. All righty, let me get my folks pulled up here. I think I have everybody. We'll start with Celeste. What's up, Celeste? How you doing this morning, sister? Oh, come on now. Come on now.
Good morning. I'm doing well. I don't know.
Minister Danzel's not here to get on you today, so I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it.
I'm so blessed. Look at God helping me out, because he would have had it for me today. I guess what it is he's got to go ahead and rest his quarter zips.
Yeah,
and get ready for next week.
No, he's working. He's ministering at a senior citizen center, I believe, today. I think it's a senior citizen center, but yeah, he's ministering. So he's doing the Lord's work today.
All right, well,
so shout out to Minister Danzel. If you're watching, man, God bless you, brother. Keep doing, you're fighting a good fight out there.
Absolutely. And especially in New York.
Yeah,
You know,
absolutely. Yeah,
he's got to be strong and truly fortified in the Lord, because that's an uphill battle.
absolutely.
They take no
Absolutely.
shorts up there.
None. What's up, Crystal? How you doing this morning, sister?
Good morning. Happy Friday, everyone. Happy Friday, chat. Wise, why'd you bring this cold down here?
Oh, I know.
Hey, it
Why'd you
wasn't
bring
me,
this cold?
man. It wasn't me. I went outside yesterday. I was taking my sister's dog out. And I was like, man, it is cold as all get. I had shorts and a t-shirt. I had to go back in the house. Like, man, I got to go back in the house real quick and put some
That's why I
clothes on.
said you brought it down here, because look, we've been chilling in 70s,
80s.
80s, and all of a sudden now I have to put on a sweater today. I was like, what's
Yeah,
going on?
it was chilly. It was chilly out. Hopefully, I think they said it's going to warm back up, though. It's supposed to get warmer today and tomorrow. So, it's okay. It's
Yes.
okay. What up, Jay Witt? What's up with you, brother?
Brother, I'm a part of the wise. We're glad you're here, but you're gonna have to go back home, bro. Because you done brought all of Maryland, bro, man.
Hey,
Come on, man. What's going on with this weather, man?
hey,
Anyway,
this is home, man. You know what I'm saying? This is home. I grew up here. This is the crib.
Well, that don't mean that you couldn't have gone somewhere and been corrupted and brought corruption down here, man. AKA this crazy weather. Shout out to y'all.
Yeah,
Man. What's going on?
it's wild, man. It caught me off guard for sure.
I've always said
Brother
that
AZ.
though. Georgia weather will kill you.
Yeah, hey, it's bipolar as all get out. What's up,
So
AT?
much.
How you doing, man?
Absolutely.
I'm doing well. It's not cold where y'all are at. I just want to say that. And because
Hey,
Minister
Keith, go sit in
Denzel
the
was
corner.
here and I got to represent properly. Celeste, if you hit that mic button on the bottom and unmute your mic when you come up here, we got to be prepared. All right.
Yes, I know.
So I had to come at you. It's nice seeing the Avengers up here today. Wise, it's a pleasure seeing you. Sister Celeste, it's nice to see you. I'm going to go ahead and call you the Jolly Green Giant today. And of course, Grape Juice Box. It's nice to see y'all as well. Looking forward to the conversation.
Nice to see you too, Light Bright. It's so nice to see you today, Light Bright.
Dang, they wilding out this
Everybody
morning.
started
man.
off this morning.
Shots
We acting like
fired
this?
already?
Already.
Already? Jeez.
But already.
It's how I show love. It's how I show love.
What's up, Rashad? How you doing, man?
What's going on, y'all? So
Yeah.
I'm Rashad with Black Anomaly Rising. So I'm acquainted with Crystal. Good to see you again, Crystal.
Nice to see you too.
Yeah, I really appreciate y'all having me on today. So I'm always going to take the opportunity to rag on some liberals any chance I get.
I
Okay.
can dig
That's
it.
what's
I can
up.
dig it. Well, appreciate you pulling up, man. Appreciate you, coming through, hanging out with us for a little bit, man.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
should be a good time. We're gonna have a good time today. Yesterday was interesting, man. Jay Witt, you missed it, bro. We had
Because I don't get an invitation, bro.
We had our
It's all
first
good,
troll.
man.
We had our first troll call in yesterday, man. It was awesome, man.
Jay Witt, they
Somebody
made me
asked
sit
in the
down and
chat,
listen
like,
to
"Hey,
it.
is Jim gonna be on the panel today?"
Is he? I'd love to still talk to Jim.
I don't know if Jim is going to come back.
I hope so.
I think
so.
the demon that was there had to leave when I was done. I'm just saying.
We'll see. Maybe he'll call in. He'll wait for Thursday next week and pull back up. Maybe.
I'm told there are many. So
Shout out to Cole Obsidian coming through with the $20 super chat. Says, brother, you. Okay, come on now. Brother, you wise, change your socks, not your face. DWC, don't shave. Your chin will freeze.
What's DWC?
That's a very
That's
coded message.
dear woke Christian. That's finished.
Clearly he's talking about me. He talking about, you said you had to change your face or something. And that's probably what he's talking about.
He said, change your socks, not your face.
There
Is that
you
something
go.
I don't know
That's
about? Why you got sock issues? Is that where that comes from?
Uh-oh.
Hey,
Right.
hey, the military, they say you want to make sure fresh socks, you know what I'm saying? You want to keep those feet dry. You already know that's important.
Yeah, because some of the people we serve with got those great gargoyle feet, gremlin feet running around.
Well, put socks on them so we don't have to see them. There we go.
Yeah,
I never
exactly.
said I
Socks
had
and
them,
slides,
okay?
man. Socks and slides, man.
Okay. Hey,
I was supposed to
Hey,
be
Like
like that
right.
today. It's gonna be like that.
Right.
bro, you done already wilding
right.
out, man. You already started.
Exactly.
Hey,
Like right.
I do got to say this, man. I know the fellas are hating. Kenny Cooper started it off. Come on here hating because I done shaved the beard off. I'm just letting it be known. The ladies love it.
The
Just so
ladies
y'all
love
know.
it.
The ladies love it.
Celeste,
You know
let's
what I'm
let
saying?
them
I'm just putting it
know.
out there.
I'm telling you, man, this is just some old jelly stuff. Don't let them
It is.
don't let them get you.
They mad because we got a superstar on the stage just
That's
slaying,
exactly
just
right.
slaying.
Don't be mad. Mm-mm.
Okay, I'm just gonna say this, Wise, just to make sure everybody clarify. The lady
Is the
loves
only
it.
one. That's right.
You're not Anton Daniels, bro. You're not
No,
inside.
well, I'm talking about the ladies in the
Whoa.
chat. They love it.
Ooh.
Wifey,
Wait a
not a
minute.
big fan. You know, she actually would prefer for me to grow
See,
it back.
well then
So,
that's all the
I
one
thought
that matters.
I
Then
thought
we
you
ain't
said
worried
your
about the
wife
ones in the
liked it
chat.
when you got rid of it. She didn't like the whole beard.
no, she actually liked the beard, but I told she met me like this.
That's
This
what it
is
was,
what I
okay.
looked like when she met me. You know what I'm saying? And I actually, this was my look for a long time. I just grew this beard thing about 2 years ago.
Okay.
You know? But I
Yeah,
want to do
it's the
something
same for
different,
me.
man. All
I
of
used to
y'all,
look
you
like
know,
that.
all of y'all with the beards and
something.
stuff, you know what I'm saying? Hey, I want to change it up. I want to be different.
I respect
I
that.
something
actually
different.
had women suggest that I grow the beard in because they were like, they said you got the genetics for it. So I was like, all right, bet.
Yeah, I see,
There you
Rashad.
go.
You got it coming down right here. We just got to get it filled right here. You don't want to be looking like Wise does right now, right?
Dude,
Hey, it
this is
feels
going
good. I
left
tell you what,
already,
I don't
man.
have all
It
this, all the irritation and that comes with it. I'm not
Oh,
having
yeah.
to deal with that. You
Yeah,
know,
that's why I don't
so,
do it all over here.
Yeah, it's a hassle, man. It's a hassle
is.
to deal with.
Yeah, that joint start growing like closer to your
He
eye.
went all the way up here. He
Bro,
said, "My
yeah,
beard comes up to my
You're
eye."
not
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
wolf man.
It
You're
get
not the
pretty
wolf
crazy.
man, dude. Come on. It ain't
Yeah,
growing
if
up to
you-
your eyes. Get
If you
out
let
of here.
that joint grow, it start getting crazy.
Yeah, it's
Man,
a trip.
come
man. So
on
it
now,
actually feels,
nephew.
it feels good. It's a little more work because I got to shave. You know what I'm saying, on a day-to-day basis
Oh, you-
with the grays. The
But
grays
you don't have
will
to
do it
do
on
pop.
it like
purpose?
the itching and all that to
You know,
take care
I
of
don't
it.
care
and all
about
that.
that.
But I like the look though. To be honest with you, man, I like it.
Good.
So, you know, we'll get the show started, man. Hit the like button for me if you haven't done so already. Super chat, super thanks are greatly appreciated. Thank you guys so much for pulling up this morning and supporting what we're doing. Blues, if you could, if you can find Rashad's link, you should be able to look it up on YouTube. You'll find it pretty quickly. Make sure we get that posted in the chat as well. Do that for me.
I just dropped it in
And
the chat for
go
you.
check out the Garden Project, man. Go over to thegardenproject.com.
Appreciate
Go
y'all.
check it out if you haven't done so already. And next week, Thursday, AT will be here, Lord willing. If you have any questions, call in. That'd be a great, thing. Hey, call in and ask about the Garden Project next week, Thursday. And also, be on the lookout. Ask me anything, as well as Gutter Bunny of the Week. I'm actually looking forward to seeing who's Gutter Bunny of the Week. My vote was for Cheryl Underwood, but I'm sure she's not going to win, although I think she should.
What was
That's
you
my-
picked Cheryl over that girl we talked about yesterday, the CNN lady? I'm not good with the names, right?
Abby Phillips.
Abby
Yeah, you
Phillips.
picked Cheryl over Abby Phillips after that yesterday?
I mean, but the list is crazy because it has Abby Phillip, Sherilyn with John Thune, and Jamal Bryant. So
Oh,
I
yeah,
think
Jamal
John Thune's
Bryant.
going to win that one.
It's
Jamal
a
Bryant.
I mean,
tough.
Jamal Bryant could be on the list every week.
Every
you know what I'm
single
saying?
week.
Like
Yes.
every week, he could be on there. You know, goodness gracious, that guy. All right, well, I want to start off with this brother here. He goes off, and I really appreciate this man getting on the internet and stressing this to the youngins out there, because I think there's a lot of young brothers and sisters that need to hear this message. So I want to play this from you guys, man, and I want to get you guys' thoughts. Jay Witt, we'll give you the first word when we come back.
Sounds dope.
Do you know why you could see a guy with 400,000 followers in my comments threatening me about speaking the truth? Because I'm just like you. I'm a field, okay? I'm a felon. I was a high school dropout. My father was a heroin addict and an alcohol abuser. My mother was a paranoid schizophrenic. I grew up in the ghetto. I committed all of the crimes, the pimp, prostitute, the shootouts, getting shot at, the police, everything. In and out of jail, prison. I got the baby mamas. I paid the child support. I've been kicked out of my kid's life, but still expected to pay. Listen, the whole story of a young black male, a black man in America, I am the living excuse. And I'm supposed to get on here and say, oh man, the white man holding me back. I make $40 an hour. I make six figures. You know what I'm saying? I'm supposed to get on and say, oh, there's no place for me in America. That's what they want me to hear. That's what they want me to say. Oh man, I'm a black man. The white man holding me down. Let me tell you something. They don't like me getting on this internet and telling you you don't have to be no victim to these liberals who trying to convince you that woe is you. If you need mentorship, DM me. If you need guidance, and I'm not just saying that because I make these Instagrams really for my personal mental health. But if you feel like, yo, I need to just reach out to somebody, just like get some guidance, you can reach out to me. Like I'm a real dude, just like you. You know what I'm saying? I ain't even put a little bit of water in my face this morning. I'm just like you, man. Headed out to work, headed out in this cold weather. So understand, when you see these dudes with 400,000 followers, I got like 6,000, trying to throw pebbles down the mountain. You know what that mean? That mean God is working, okay? Because when I make these videos, I'm doing it from a perspective of a calling, not to get clicks and views and likes and follows. Listen, if I could reach one of you little black boys to tell you don't gotta be no victim, you don't gotta let people to tell. Listen, I'm the living excuse, bro. I am the Thanos of, damn, if this happened to me as a black male, I can't succeed. I'm Thanos of that. That's why God is using me. And that's why these people at the top don't like dudes like me. They need you to be a victim. They need you to blame the white man. I'm telling you, the white man ain't do it. We gotta look in the mirror. That sound crazy for a brother to say, but remember, I'm from where you from. I got all the same circumstances.
I love that message.
I don't know what.
Wow.
Am I supposed to actually? What am I supposed to? Can we add the ham and B3? Can we pass the plate? Close the doors. Close the doors. That brother was cooking, man. I
Yes,
wanted him to keep talking. He made a great point, and all I want to do is just punctuate one point. You're not a victim, and he has the resume, the victim resume. He's got. I mean, he is trained for the Victim Olympics. He chooses not to be a part of it, and that right there, we got to look at that, man. That was excellent, right on the button, man. That guy was cooking. I'm not gonna say anything more because I found it because I might have to use it on my own channel. Shout out to that brother for sure. Go ahead and go.
Rashad, what are your thoughts, bro?
Yeah, well, that's why they hate him, is because it depends on where you come from too, right? Like the more you can resonate, like the more bad circumstances that you come from, you know, the parents were like this, and you know, I didn't have that much money growing up. You know, I was into, you know, I got the baby mamas, you know, the drugs. He mentioned pimping and prostitution, like all these different things, right? Like a lot of people in the community, you know, can get into all of these different things. So that level of resonation with people and still not going down that same path in the end, that victim mentality, that's what really kills them, because they don't want people to see themselves. You know how people always talking about, oh, I got to see myself. They don't want people to see themselves in somebody who's successful in looking to go in a different direction. They want you to go down this one path. Hey, be the victim, be the Democrat, rely on us, the government, to help you get us more power. That's really what they want. And they can't stand it when somebody's going down a direction that doesn't lend them more power. That's really what kills them.
Absolutely. Crystal, what are your thoughts?
Listen, he just cooked, and I applaud him, and I love what he said. He said, you know, this is about my calling, and that's what people need to understand. When you step into your calling, what God has called you to do, and get out of what the world tries to tell you, hold on. Like when you do Crystal Beyond Labels, when you go beyond the labels of life and stop walking around like a victim, oh, you will be victorious. And I can understand him, because I used to walk around with that victim mentality, because they taught you. They taught you, it's ingrained in you. But when you move past them labels and all those things that you should be like this because of this, you should be like, when you get past all that and shake all of that dirt off of you, oh my gosh, nothing is impossible, period, point blank. Because as long as you keep your eyes on God, you got it. You got it. So I love what he said. I commend him, and I love even more so that he's basically extending a hand to other young men out there, young boys out there, because a lot of it's so heavy in the community where you have so many people. You ain't gonna make nothing. Come on, join us on the street, join us in the corner, join us in this gang, join us this. So they feel like that's the only option. He said, no. I'm extending my hand. Come, I will pull you up out of there. And I appreciate that he's doing that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Celeste, what are your thoughts?
I think this is an excellent example of what real leadership looks like. Somebody who can be honest about their past, honest and say the mistakes that they made that put them in the situation they're in, and also equally as honest about what they did to be successful, and then to invite and have an open arm, open door policy to say, hey, you don't have to go down this road. I can show you a better way. I'm just like you. Contact me. And, if it's guidance, if it's conversation, that's what leadership looks like. I'm very happy to see specifically, in this case, Black men, but really all men get tired because, see, victimization is effeminate. And men who are willing to be victims are men who are willing to be effeminized. And effeminized men are going to have a very difficult time with authentic leadership. They're definitely going to have a hard time getting me on board. I don't know who you might get,
You're
but
That
like
part.
Lauren
right.
Hill said, you might get some, but you just lost one. So that
You're
I'm
running
out.
like Bakari Sellers or something.
Yeah, I'm out for sure. But I'm glad to see this. And I have said in the past, all of this foolishness that is going on is only happening because the moment that Black men and white men come together and realize that they both have to come together and lead because they both have exactly the same issues and exactly the same people are attacking them for exactly the same reason. When that happens, this is all over. This is all this subjugation, all this dependency, all of this ends as soon as Black men and white men come together. So I'm happy to see it. I'm happy to see it. And I really believe it's going to happen.
AT, we give you the last word on this, bro. What are your thoughts?
I want to focus on the other gentleman that he was talking about, the 100,000 followers that was reaching out and giving him all kinds of grief for having his stance. I noticed something maybe about 2 years ago, however long it was, when I first met Crystal. We were on TikTok. I don't recommend it. And we had both come out and started publicly talking about the election, conservative values, and then Christianity. And you ever notice that when you are on a platform, you're like, oh my gosh, Black power, we're oppressed, white man is bad. You have a lot of people celebrating you. They're like, yeah. And at worst, someone might say, I disagree. But if you come out and say, no, actually, my skin color doesn't hold me back, there is not systematic oppression, I can do whatever I want to do within the realms of the law and my ideally faith, and I'm not going to be held back anymore by a narrative, oh my gosh, they hate you. 400,000 followers. What do you have free time to reach out to one person saying this and start hating on him? So I'm going to do a comparison here since I went pretty hard on Wise when I came in about his beard. I wanted this is the first thing that came to me, so I wanted to share this. So Wise has almost 600,000 followers. Y'all go ahead and subscribe to him. Let's get to that 600,000. He's got more than this guy who's got 400,000. Now, I've had a few conversations with Brother Wise, and also I'm going to pick on Jay Witt here too about their platform, about what they do. Not a single time has any of these two gentlemen, my elders, by the way, doing this longer than me, have a platform. Not once have they ever been like, hey, so AT, what's it like being a light-skinned Black man in America? It's never come up. What they have asked about is, hey, your character, tell me about you. Hey, tell me about your faith. Tell me what you've done in this life. What are your dreams, hopes, ambitions? And the best part is 400,000 followers. I don't like what you say. I'm going to attack you. Almost 600,000 followers. How can I help you? You see the difference between these two individuals. I will never say this again because you were in the Navy, but I'd follow Wise if he wanted to run for office. I'd follow Wise if he had a cause that he had to do, because Wise is not going to view me as just another skin color. You see what I'm saying? You restrict yourself whenever you go out and say, and I had the same stuff when I grew up too, right? The world's going to treat you differently because you're Black. It's going to be harder for you. You got to work. What is the expression? You got to work twice as hard to get half the pay. I was raised with all of that. And if you have that mentality going out into the world, then you are your own worst enemy, because no matter what happens when you fail, it's not going to be on you. It's not going to be on your ability to grow. It's not going to be on a shortcoming that you have. It's going to be someone else's fault because they have one of the isms towards you. And I'm so grateful this man came out and called that dude out by name. You have no time to go around. If I could waste my entire life going around arguing with people on TikTok and YouTube who say all kinds of horrible things about Christ, what are you doing with your time when that's what you want to do is spread hate? And do you actually love the Black people you say you're a part of when you're tearing them down? That man can't control his skin color. He's been Black his entire life. Why are you trying to tear him down instead of uplifting him?
Absolutely. Well, the reason is because the race hustle, it's a multi-billion-dollar industry. And when brothers like that come out and speak and say, hey, man, the white man doesn't have their foot on your neck. If you want it, it's out here for you to get. If you're willing to put the work in, and if you want to start a business, meaning take some risk, put your own money up and take the risk to do it, and then put the time, it's out there for you to get. Those people are enemies to the race grifters. They're enemies to them because they need people. They need a plethora of people to believe that the white man is keeping you down. It's white supremacy holding you back and keeping you from making it, while they're making $200,000-$300,000 a year or more, living in gated communities, and both of their neighbors on their right and left and across the street are probably white people. They will get on the internet because, hey, if you're willing to do this, there is a lot of money. And there's a lot of like, follows, and retweets. You know what I'm saying? If you're willing to get out there and spew this foolishness. And that's why, if you think about it, the Boule crowd, they're upset with those that think like this. They're upset with us that say, hey, you can get out here and get it just like they've gone out and gotten it. But it keeps them from their bag.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? That's how they make their money. That's how they make their money. They need a permanent underclass, or they need people that believe that they are the permanent underclass. And in that way, they can dangle that carrot and say, hey, if you vote the Democrats, they're going to give you, everything that you need. I think it was you, AT, yesterday that was talking all these things that you were saying that, hey, rely on me. They need you in bondage.
That's right.
They need you there. And unfortunately, we have a group of sad to say, we have a group of Black folks that's willing to continue to peddle this nonsense for $1.
Yeah.
It's sad, man.
Well,
It's
you
sad.
know what's funny is I don't know if you guys have been seeing all this talk after Jasmine Crockett got her butt whooped. Now all of a sudden you got all these Black folks like, man, I can't believe the Hispanics betrayed us. And I'm like, fools, I've been saying this for years now. Plenty of people have been saying it way longer than me. Like, we're not all skin folk and kin folk. That doesn't just apply to Black folks who are conservative. This is all kinds of people trying to co-opt the Black community to basically be on the front line and take all the bullets for all of these different movements that don't have nothing to do with us, really. Like, we have our own community to uplift, and if we got people in office who aren't doing that, and every time we see them keep uplifting the Hispanic community, LGBTQ community, that's pretty much what the Democrat Party has become. Pro illegal immigration, pro LGBTQ. Is certainly not pro Black, because they have no motivation to do it if they keep getting voted in no matter what they do. And where is their motivation to do anything for the Black folks? So it's just a waste of our people's time, utilizing our race trauma against us. That's the whole reason why the channel is named Black Anomaly Rising, is because I'm like, okay, we got to be anomalous. We can't be the same as we have been. Otherwise, we're going to keep getting the same result, which is a couple folks, kind of excelling in the community. But on the whole, it kind of continually perpetuates the same type of narrative, like the same way this guy we just saw, the type of life that he shared. Eventually, he pulled himself out of it, but a lot of people don't. They kind of continue down that same path or worse.
Rashad, can I ask you a question, man?
Before you go, AT, I want to say
yes,
this real quick. Rashad, Black folks aren't destitute in America. Most Black people are in the middle class. Most. I want to say the number was like 70+% of Black folks are in the middle class or higher. You know what I'm saying? So when I hear this narrative that, Black folks, we're all just out here broke, busted, and disgusted, it's the furthest thing from the truth. And if you go to places like PG County, you come to places like Atlanta, man, and there's a multitude, Houston, Dallas, you name it, man, Black folks are balling, doing very well. I know people in the DC area, around the DC area, and I'm sure Celeste can attest to this, that are making, I'm talking about $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 household incomes, and still will claim victimhood. You know what I'm saying? And still will claim, hey man, we're oppressed out here. It's like, man, if $400,000 a year is oppressed, I want some of that. Give me some of that.
Oh,
Seriously.
They're very much like that. And that's individual income. That's not necessarily even household. That can be
it is the craziest thing. Go ahead, AT. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. Because I wholeheartedly agree with that. A lot of people don't know that fact, right? A lot of people, if you're ignorant, then you're easy to control. Rashad, I wanted to ask you, because of your platform, I'll go even farther to say that the Liberal Party is anti-God. I'm more than happy to have that conversation. But I think that if you're a part of the Black community and you want to see the Black community uplifted, you're doing yourself a disservice by allowing this rhetoric to continue. And I think a lot of it has to do with fear. If I go up and say, as a black man, I'm equal to everybody else in the United States, I do not want preferential treatment. I want to be viewed and valued off of my character. I lose all the preferential scholarships, preferential hiring. All the DAI policies don't matter anymore. And I wanted to ask you, Rashad, because I think that's just more your wheelhouse. Do you think that specifically liberal Black Americans are scared of the actual truth and what it looks like if they lose that preferential treatment?
Well, yeah, absolutely. I mean, some people have admitted it, right? So if your identity is the victim, I mean, I've seen it my entire life, even from some people that aren't Black. If your identity is the victim and you have to change that, then you're effectively changing your identity. For some people, it's almost akin to if you think God is real and then somebody tells you, well, he's not, right? So some people, is that ingrained in their spirit. It's like a spiritual part of them that they have to be the victim. You know, imagine if you realize at a certain point in your life, hey, everything is my fault and none of it's nobody else's. So it's not, it's not God's fault. It's not the white man's fault. It's not my previous partner's fault, my parents. It's all me. Right? People don't want to acknowledge that because then they have to look into the mirror rather than just pointing at everybody else. So yeah, absolutely. That is, I think, somewhere where our people need to absolutely do better because as you can see, I mean, we get attacked for that self-reflection. And especially if we do that self-reflection and we tell others to do it, then they're really having meltdowns about it.
I have to agree with Rashad because I just had like a whole epiphany yesterday. Y'all don't judge it, girl. Don't judge it. I had a whole epiphany.
We'll see. Go ahead.
I was like, oh my gosh, all those people, because like I said, if y'all go visit my Facebook right now, people are losing. Listen, everywhere I go, I seem to be really irritating people. Okay, I'm just saying right now. So people are losing their mind on Facebook about something I posted, and they're telling me about. Like somebody in my comments right now saying, you think Trump likes you? And I'm like, this has nothing to do with if Trump likes me or not. What is wrong with you people? And it hit me yesterday. Majority of the people that I know, I'm just going to go like this. The majority of the people that I know, I'm talking about family, friends, all that, they're actually conservative. When you talk to them about their values, they're actually conservative.
Vote Democrat.
But they vote Democrat. And I realized they're all punks. I'm sorry, family, friends that are watching, they're all punks. You're really scared because it was a conversation I was having with April at the event that we were at. She was like, it takes a lot for you to be able to stand up boldly in your conviction and know that what I did, what I've been supporting is wrong and I can't be there anymore. I need to come out from among them and stand up for the truth. And to be able to stand up on that. And a lot of Black people aren't willing to do that because they're afraid they'll lose the Black card. They can't come to the cookout. They can't do they're not a part of culture no more. All of these things mean so much more to them than standing up on truth. So I had that whole epiphany. I was like, oh my gosh, it wasn't the fact that people are scared. I just realized even people within my own circumference, y'all are weak. And I always looked at a lot of them as very strong people, but I was like, I love y'all, but y'all are really weak because y'all would rather take the narrative because you want to be accepted by culture and not actually stopping and realizing that same culture is choking you out right now.
Yeah, a lot of my friends, not family, but definitely a lot of my friends are like kind of underground Trump supporters. Right. Like they low key think the Democrats are crazy. They'll tell me like we meet up in person or, send me PMs, but they won't, post not one thing about it, on Facebook or something. Occasionally they might like a post here and there and, but it'll be like one time, like once every 6 months or something because they don't want people to see, it's kind of sad that that's where we're at.
I'm good with that though. That's what we're here for. We're here to carry the mantle and hopefully encourage some people to say, you know what, it is okay. I know since I've been doing this, I've had a multitude of people reach out to me and say, hey man, because of you and a few others out there, I decided to vote in a different direction, but I'm also not afraid to say that I'm doing that now. Right. So it takes some people to be courageous, to step out there and say, hey man, I don't care what y'all talking about. But the thing too is that, you know what I'm saying? Like Crystal and others here on the panel, my identity is not wrapped up in my blackness. My identity is in Christ. So as long as I got that going on for me, I'm not worried about, you know, what the naysayers are saying. Especially if I know that I'm standing with the truth. You know what I'm saying? And I'm voting based off of my own convictions and what I believe. I'm not even concerned, you know, with it. And then on the flip side of that, I also think that we need to be educated and we need to be knowledgeable of why we take the stance that we take. So therefore, when somebody does come up and say, man, why are you a conservative? Why are you supporting the Republican Party? Why did you vote for Trump? We can actually come out and most of us can rattle off the top of our heads, probably at least 5 to 10 things as to why we're, you know, voting in this direction and we're supporting, you know, this party. The problem is those on the left, if you ask them, most of the time, the only thing you'll get is Republicans are racist. Orange man is bad. They don't know policies. And that's why, you know, a couple of days ago, I've been talking about it. And I know Minister Danzel talks about it all the time. When you start talking to these people, make them articulate what the liberal agenda is. I don't want to hear orange men bad or Republicans are racist. No, what are you supporting within the party, and make them verbalize it. Because once you start saying, hey, I actually support men in women's sports and men in women's bathrooms. I actually support, you know, the transition of children as young as the age 1 year old. You know, once you start making them verbalize it, it comes out of your mouth. You're like, wait, what am I saying? One or two things are going to happen. Either, you know what I'm saying, you're going to 100% go with it, or you're going to be convicted. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Just like what is she, state senator or representative up in was that Michigan, Karen Winston? And she come out and was like, hey, I can't continue to support the Democrat Party and call myself a Christian because of, it was 3 things that she mentioned. You know, and it was the pregnancy terminations, it was the trans movement, you know, and I believe it was the whole alphabet community movement in general. And she's like, I can't do it. But if you just let them get by saying orange man bad, Republicans are racist, and not make them articulate what they're actually supporting.
Yeah, if you if you guys remember Larry Elder and Charlemagne, you know, the N-word wake-up call, you know, here's what I found. The irony behind it. A lot of the time, a lot of our folks have to get their own from the Democrats and the left. They got to get their own. So even hearing about some of that stuff, they might kind of, you know, like brush over it or say, oh, well, it's the lesser of two evils. You know, they might say something like that. But usually if something happens to them or their family, or like they're directly impacted, like somebody, like one of their kids, you know, starts talking about pronouns or something, you know, they lose a job, they lose their job, and they see a bunch of, you know, people who appear to be illegal aliens or something taking their job. Like once something tends to happen to them, then all of a sudden it's like it clicks and they're like, wait a minute, this is what these people have been saying this entire time. Just like, again, that Jasmine Crockett situation where a bunch of Hispanics voted for the white man. And, you know, now all of a sudden people's eyes are open. It didn't matter what we were saying. They had to take a big fat L. And that's what it pains me, honestly, because I hate to see our people suffer. I'm sure we all do. But it's almost as if that doesn't happen, then a lot of folks just do not listen until they get to that point of no return, where it's like, well, now you done suffered something major. It's too late to turn back. And that the lesson is learned, I guess, but is it learned too late?
Facts.
Wise, you brought something up earlier, and I think it really points to the fact that in terms of the Black community, we have been under a major psyop for a long time. Yes. And the fact of the matter is, the majority of Black people do not live like what is called Black culture. The problem is Black culture is reflected to us, and it's reflected to the populations other than us, and it is completely different than who we actually are. So we are not sure what to believe about ourselves, and other people are not sure what to believe about us. we are in we have really been, if we want to claim the victim mantle, we have been under a psychological operation for an extremely long time, at which time you can thank Hollywood in the music industry and all of these industries that got together that created an identity for Black people that is completely different than the actual identity Black people have. And this isn't new. This goes back, when you look at all the slavery movies, if this goes back to their telling of our story is absolutely not true. Absolutely not true. So it is wonderful when we can all stand up and say, no, I'm here. I exist. I am not someone, and this is not to put that brother down, because I loved him and loved what he said, but he does not have the majority experience. He doesn't. He actually has the minority experience. And even though we want him to help others that are in that situation or who could benefit from his leadership and his guidance, we should not continue to believe, or not let others believe, not ourselves or others, that is really who the majority of Black people are, because it is not.
Absolutely. We'll read a couple super chats and we'll keep it moving. Shout out to David Cooper with the $2 super sticker. Appreciate the support this morning. Shout out to my brother Steve Edminster, Buffalo in the building. Shout out to you, man. $5 super chat says, I learned a long time ago that attitude is what life throws at you, and how you react, either stand up or become a victim. Yeah. Right. Shout out to Chi Lan Win coming through, joining the ARP family. I appreciate the support. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Shout out to Jonathan Hunter coming through with the $10 super chat. Says they hate you when you start thinking for yourself. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. They clap for you when you share in their ignorance, but once you switch up the mindset, they crucify you. Shout out to that brother. Yeah.
Well said, Jonathan.
Yeah. Well, the Boule crowd, man, they need you. They need you believing that you're a victim.
That's right.
They need you. You know, so then they can mess around and, you know, so they can say, hey, we can get the souls to the pole. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you know, Rolly Martin was like, hey, if you just listen to me and pay me, I'll get you Black folks. You know what
It's been working. Why not?
Man. It has been working. I don't think it's working it's not working as much anymore. It's not as effective anymore. That's why they're all, have you noticed? They're on panels talking about how can we wrangle these Black folks back.
That's right.
You know
how do we get the Black folks?
They're upset that Angela Rye got on. She said it out. She said the quiet part out loud on their show, the Native Land podcast. She came out and said they aren't listening to us anymore.
Good.
She came out and said it.
Right.
Thank God.
That's a good thing.
Know? Yeah. And she was crying about it. She was shedding tears. Not because Black folks aren't listening to them, but she was mad because she knows that the bag is on its way out the door. If you can't lead people back to the plantation, there's no reason for them to continue to pay you.
That's right.
Am I wrong for getting pleasure anytime I see Angela Rye cry? Because I mean that's got to be one of the most insufferable women that I've ever seen. Like every time I turn around,
I think Tiffany Cross got her, bro. I mean, Angela Rye's up there on the list, but I think Tiffany Cross might got her, bro.
Well, yeah, I mean, I keep seeing her more often, you know, so she's got more motion, I guess, than Angela. But I don't know, Angela, it seems like she's even more conceited than Cross is just annoying. But Angela is like, you know, because I think she's got her like law degree or something, so she kind of let that go to her head a lot. So she's always like she tried to school Byron Donalds, I remember, on the Breakfast Club. And man, she just made a fool of herself. I remember it was hilarious. And then when Kamala Laws, she was talking about she cried herself to sleep for like weeks. And I was like, girl, you just think about this for a second. If Trump would have lost, man. I wanted Trump to win, of course. I mean, I got my MAGA is F shirt, right? So I wanted Trump to win, but I seriously doubt that I would have cried. I never cried about anything political ever. Like the only time I cry is when if I see like, oh, some Black kids, you know, did something crazy, they got killed or something, then it makes me really sad. But over a politician and for weeks at that's just think about how, remember AT, how I was talking about the people with the mentality, like that's how deep it is for some people where they're literally crying for long periods of time because the political candidate that they wanted, a law that she says is not going to be another election ever again. And all of this ridiculous stuff. People going to be in camps, just craziness. I I can't understand it, especially when you don't see those things. So some people have been switching. At the event I actually met Crystal at here in Atlanta, some people were saying that they switched parties because they saw that what the Democrats said was going to happen didn't happen. So they said they literally switched parties, which I thought was hilarious.
You know, Rashad, I wouldn't have cried if Trump would have lost. I'd have cried for the obvious World War III that would have happened if former Vice President Harris would have gotten into the office building. It is unfortunate that people have such an emotional connection to whoever the candidate is. But yes, absolutely hold those people accountable. Write down your calendar, put an alert on your iPhone for 4 years from now. Reach out to the friend that said I was going to be in a work camp and ask her why am I not in the camp yet. Because we got to really drive those things home. The lies that people will repeat from mainstream media and then just shrug their shoulders and forget that they said it is absolutely ridiculous. Minister Danzel, I know you're listening wherever he is at right now. Force them to actually explain where they come from. To be clear, most are going to get upset with you, call you a name and walk away. But every once in a while, you might get that one or two who actually is seeking the truth and has been lied to their entire life.
Absolutely. Yeah, that one or two is all that I need. That's so right. I've had people on the channel, they just troll me. They trolled me for months, and then like eventually they kind of slowly start to be like, hey, you know what? You was kind of right about that. And now they're big fans. It's really crazy how it works.
Yeah, it's crazy how it works. Shout out to JB2 with the $10 super chat. Says, thanks. That sad reason should know. Oh, come on, bro. Come on, bro.
Why is about to have an aneurysm?
Sad reason. You should know MLK oppressed. I think that's what they were trying to say. Listen, I'm gonna be the super chat whisperer today. Okay.
Please. MLK oppressed narrative. He was key to that speech that day. Not realizing come on, nah. I appreciate the super chat, though, bro.
Let me look at this thing.
I appreciate the super chat. I appreciate the super chat, man. Thank you. Shout out to my brother Jeff over at It's Not Your Fault Al-Anon Recovery Channel with the $11 super chat. Says the one underlying goal and motivation is the ability to decide a child's life. They won't openly admit that. The main reason to vote for anyone Democrat. They work for the beast. Period. He's about to bring up. Oh boy, about to pull up the beast. That was hilarious. Shout out to Marla coming through. Oh, Marla changed the picture up with the Pray Don't Worry hoodie on. I see you.
I like it.
Shout out to you with the $10 super chat. Says people need to go outside. The black people in my community have the same wants and needs as me. We all get along together. The Democrats have always lied to us all. God, please open eyes. Yeah. Celeste was actually right when she was talking about, black men, white men, get on the same page. We have the same common enemy. We have the same common goals. You know what I'm saying? We're all just trying to make it out here and do what we need to do to take care of our families, and hopefully do what God tells us to do by, leaving, an inheritance to our children and our grandchildren. That's all we're all trying to do the same exact things, man.
Exactly.
They would never put Marla on the news. She is I'm guessing by the picture, she's a white woman who is defending Republican values and trying to bring together black and white people. They would never put her on the news.
Absolutely.
They want to
the Republicans are the party of division. Don't forget
that's
that.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
Shout out to Jeff once again. It's Not Your Fault Al-Anon Recovery Channel with the $11 super chat. Says, I'm looking for the Democrat leader of the district where the attack on the Jewish temple happened to decry the Lebanese Muslim who committed this atrocity. Oh, wait, it's Rashida Tlaib. Never mind.
Yeah.
Of course it is. Listen, I have a bill that I want to pass. I'm just going to tell you that right now.
All right. Well, we are going to, we'll be right back with Ask Me Anything.
Ask Me Anything.
Hello, welcome back to Ask Me Anything. And today's comment comes from It's Not Your Fault. It is a post that he often posts as a member of our ARP family in our chat. And the post is, the best way to control people is to give them work with no pay and pay for no work. So yesterday I asked if I could do an Ask Me Anything on this because I thought that this is really a profound statement and I wanted to dig into it a little bit. So thanks. It's not your fault for this Ask Me Anything. It's obvious how providing people with work without pay is a mechanism for control. Many places in the world we call that slavery or something like it. The only way to get people to work or provide you with value without pay, which is some exchange for equal value, is by threat of force. And this threat requires you to submit to an authority other than yourself and not your creator for sustenance, which is the clearest form of dependency. However, what is not nearly as obvious is how paying people for not working is even a more insidious mechanism of control. People who provide no value or work and receive pay wrongly think that they've bested the situation. Not true. Money, salary, pay, whatever you call it, when consistently given in exchange for no productive value, degrades the value of the task and devalues the person assigned to do it. This explains the attack on meritocracy. In a society where the best possible people are sought after for the best jobs, it orders society into a productivity caste. In general, the rarer the skill, the higher the pay. For instance, people always say, I wonder why the basketball player is paid more than the teacher. It's because the basketball player is being paid for his unique biological makeup that allows him to perform a rare skill. Not many people are born 6'9" 6 feet and 9 inches and 260 pounds and can jump. Meritocracy is the antithesis of equity, which is why meritocracy is so hated. This is paying people of ordinary skills with extraordinary pay. This allows people to live a lifestyle beyond what their skills could provide them. To maintain that lifestyle, they are wholly dependent upon the employer. No force or coercion is needed. You don't have to control them. You don't need force. Their own desire to live beyond their skills will make them control themselves on your behalf. And this is why paying people for no work is more insidious than even the slavery of working people for no pay, because you have to control people when you work them for no pay. But when you pay them for no work, they will control themselves for you. This has been Ask Me Anything. Please send your questions or anytime you want to email me for any reason to askme4547@gmail.com. And I will answer your question next week. Bye-bye.
I'm a poor person. Of course I carried before I married.
My name's Haley.
My name's Matthew, and we're pregnant.
What did he say?
I'm a poor person. Of course I went to college. I'm a poor person. Of course I buy depreciating assets.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
I'm a poor person. Of course I'm getting divorced. I'm officially I'm a poor person. Of course I don't raise my kids in the home with their father.
You are not.
I'm a poor person. Of course I don't restrain myself sexually. Duh.
And he'd be like, damn, I wish I had some head. I'd be like, yo, bro, I got you.
I'm a poor person. Of course I won't read The Ass Backwards Way to Move Forward.
Wow. Nice.
Welcome
Great
back.
work.
I like that. Ask me anything, man. That was good. That was good. That was good. Jeff always comes through with that statement, man. So that was
He
dope.
did.
I'm sure Jeff is over there sitting in his office, grinning like it was nobody's business.
Well, he was my muse. He was my muse.
And shout out to Amber Young, who won the autographed copy of the Ass Backwards Way to Move Forward. I'm assuming that it is en route. And what was the lady's name? It was Steak and Cheese, right? Steak and Cheese.
Steak canned cheese, yeah.
Steak canned cheese. I'm still waiting on a message from you, Deb. If you could do some research and see if you can find Steak and Cheese. I did not receive an email yesterday. I want to make sure that we get your T-shirt out to you as quickly as possible. So if you can shoot me an email so I can get your address and everything so we can get that sent over to you. I want to make sure that we take care of you since you did win the raffle yesterday. And shout out to the winners that won a book and a T-shirt. That's phenomenal, man. Shout out to you guys, man.
I'm sure.
Thank you guys so much. All righty. I don't want to spend too much time on this because I was kind of hemming and hawing if I wanted to add this, but I wanted to add this real quick. And before I do that, I want a couple super chats real quick. Shout out to Shaz Burr with the $2 super chat. Says, I love my sweatshirt. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Appreciate this support. Thank you very much. And shout out to You Decide. Oh, hey, wifey. What's up? With the $2 super chat says, my husband looks handsome in his hat and T-shirt. I appreciate it.
Is that Mrs. Wise right there?
Yeah.
Is that who it is?
What's up, wifey? How you doing?
Look how he's smiling. Look how he's smiling.
Yeah, ear to ear on that one. Look at him go.
Uh-oh.
That's good. After all y'all been married for a while now, beautiful kids. She still has you blushing and being nervous.
That's my girl.
That's
my girl.
So sweet.
You know, that's my girl, man. Hey, we also haven't seen each other in a couple of days because I'm here. She's still up in Maryland. We got things going on at the house, so you know.
And she's sending you money. So
yeah, and sending you money.
There's that too.
That's my money. Just so y'all know.
We're not gonna see Wise when he goes back home. Right, he gonna be missing for a week in the hospital.
Shout out to Gary Johns. He says, "Does Black liberation theology belong in the Black church?"
No.
I told
Let me
Gary,
jump on it.
I saw all of his questions and I told him I'll answer because he has like 4 of them back to back regarding the church and Black liberation and Black, overall, I'll give you this, Gary. What you see is Marxist ministers and pulpit pimps. Those are not actually men of God. They're not men of God that are preaching. And when they're putting that in the church, that has nothing to do with Christ. Because as I said, there is no VIP Black people section in church. Neither is there a VIP Hispanic person section in not church, in heaven. All of those places, everyone is one body in the body of Christ. So
yeah,
we'll get into
I'm going to jump on that.
Yeah, but that's what I can give you short wise.
I'm going to jump on it real quick. No. Can you bring that question back up real quick, Wise?
Yeah.
The question is wrong to start with. There is no Black church.
Mm-hmm.
That part.
So if we just start right there, does Black liberation theology belong in the church? No. There you go. Since James Combs was a heretic, denying the essentials of the Christian faith, why in the world would you bring a heretical doctrine into the church? I'm just asking serious questions.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's fair to say that Black liberation theology, first of all, shouldn't be in any church, much less the Black church, but there isn't a Black church.
Mm-hmm.
So therein is the problem. So does Black liberation theology belong in the Black church? No.
Can I this was interesting. I had to look this up because I've heard about the whole Black struggle brought in Black churches, but Black liberation theology is a real thing. This is a Christian theology movement. It interprets the gospel to the experience of Black oppression and the struggle for liberation from racism and injustice. So anytime you interpret the gospel for any way other than what Jesus Christ intended it before, I don't care how pretty you make it sound. I don't care how emotional it really is. You could put it in a nice little package. It still ain't of Christ, right? And so that's why I say no to it. And I agree with Jay Witt, this whole Black white church thing. If you're in a church that is primarily a Black congregation and you say to yourself, white people don't come to this church, You are not going to a church that is after God's own eye. You're not, right? You need to leave that church. I know it feels good to be around individuals that look like you, but when the focus is on your skin color and not your spirit, when you walk into those chapel doors, you are walking into a den of Satan. And if I understand that hurts a lot of people's feelings, I'm not trying to attack anybody. I'm just trying to speak the truth. If it hurts your feelings, give your pastor my phone number. Let's have a conversation. You are a child of God. That's it. Nothing else attached to that. Child of God, should you decide to follow him. Everything else is meant to divide you and separate you. There's some white people who would probably love to go to your church, but are scared because you told them it's a black church.
Yeah.
And I just want to just give him, because he, like I said, he had a few different questions, but all of them lines up into the same thing, that, and that's why I said Marxist ministers and pulpit pimps, because that's literally what you're getting. And to be honest, you are, that whole discussion that AT just said, you are one step away from being a black Hebrew Israelite.
Yeah.
That right there is problematic. So yeah, stay away from those type of things.
Yeah, I actually saw it was like a meme. It said, "Don't forget, or don't end up being so pro God you forget to be pro black."
Mm-hmm.
And there was so many people who hearted this, and I was just like, it sounded crazy, right? And of course, people went in the comments, but the fact that it was so many people that agreed with it, I thought it was astounding. Like I think it's okay. I think being pro black is okay. Like, okay, you want to see the black community thrive, depending on what you mean by it. I don't see it as being above anyone, just increasing black prosperity, I think is good. But not anything that's antithetical to God and the teachings of Christ and all these different things. I think that's where people really miss the mark. And I think that's one of the places where our politics have gone drastically wrong, very much off a cliff with the modern day liberal ways of thinking is totally antithetical to Christ. It is very much anti-God. It's you could argue in this case it's becoming more atheistic, nihilist. Even embracing Islam, because of I guess that's the modern thing to do, right? Almost embracing terrorism and things like that. It's gotten to the point of being so anti this message that will accept really anything else as long as it's the opposite of what the other side is embracing.
And I would like to say when and it's a good question, and thank you for that. We really want people to ask questions and share with us so that we can share and we can help each other. See the way Jeff helped me with my Ask Me Anything. So, but I do think this, when you want to evaluate something, anything, what you really need to do is go to the source of its intention. And the original intention of Black liberation theology was to take the tenets and the values of socialism and package it in a way that religious people could tolerate. And that was the actual intention of it, was to say, look at how our socialist values look exactly like your Christian values if we just adjust your Christianity a little bit. And so that's what they did. The point was just to adjust Christianity a little bit, give it a tweak so that it could match the socialist values of the day then, and interestingly enough, the day now. So that's what it was, and that's what it continues to be. Like Rashad says, it is like socialism, ever expanding. This is what progressivism is. It's expanding now beyond the religion, because they have been able to capture enough people, particularly in the so-called Black church, in the religion, that now they're walking you through the religion out of the religion. And that has always been the point, because Marxism says there can be no religion. It is anti-God of any kind, of the Jewish kind, of the Muslim kind, of the Christian kind. It is anti all God. So their point was to capture you with the religion, walk you through by denigrating the religion so that they could walk you out.
Well, actually, I agree with Celeste. I just want to add, actually, what they're trying to do, which they have been building it right now, is that's why they're watering down the gospel, is because they're creating. Well, it was created, but now they're extending it. They're extending Chrislam. So that is going to be the one world
Chrislam.
religion. Chrislam. That is what they're trying to build out. And you have the mosque, the Christian church, the synagogue all together. So you have Chrislam. So that is why they're trying to water it down all the way around. And that's why you need to know the word of God
Mhm.
and not be caught up in what these, like I said, these pulpit pimps are trying to put out there. If you know the word of God, then you won't sit in churches like that.
Absolutely. All right. I want to play this clip from you from this college student. Yeah, it's a mess. I don't even want to throw a lead in on it, but let me play this for you guys. I want to get your thoughts.
Hey guys, you can follow me at Her Patriot Voice.
Yeah, but I do have some questions for you. Why would you say you support ICE?
Yeah, because they would get rid of these rapists and murderers that killed American women.
So are all of the immigrants that come into America rapists and killers?
Nope.
Oh, okay, so
let's get rid of these ones? You agree with that?
Yeah.
Okay, so you support ICE removing them?
No. I support the condemnation, as you said, of a rapist. You know, there are white rapists, there are black rapists, there are
white immigrant rapists as well.
Okay, but again, there are rapists of different colors.
Why does the color matter when it comes to rape?
You just made it about you just made it.
No,
about
you did.
Color. No, you did. You said ICE.
You brought up white rapists.
Okay, because you said that immigrants rape. Right? So white people rape.
I didn't say immigrants rape. I said these immigrants raped.
So those immigrants raped. What about white people that raped?
What about them?
Are there no condemnations for them?
Absolutely. We're condemning rape as a whole, but if these people wouldn't have been able to enter under Biden's open border policies, these women would still be alive today.
Right. So what about the people who are coming to America for a better life because they were experienced similar situations where they came from?
Yeah, they can come here for a better life. I'm all for legal immigration.
Legal immigration. Okay, so what about, so our president here, his name is Trump. That's a pretty racist man.
How?
How?
Give me an example of his racism.
News.
Give me one example. Just give me one example.
Just watch the news, sweetheart. There are plenty of examples.
Watch the news, sweetheart. Give me one example that he's racist.
Okay, Trump has flat out, flat with the racism.
How?
Comments, concerns.
What comments? Name one comment that he said that was racist.
Okay.
Because if he's racist, I want to know, because I don't want to support a racist.
So you support Trump?
I do, yeah. Can you tell me why he's racist?
She supports Trump.
So we've been sitting here for nearly a minute now, and she has still yet to tell me one thing that Trump has said that's racist.
Okay, so if we're going to be quite honest, I couldn't give you a specific.
I know, you can't.
Oh, no, I'm not done speaking. I couldn't give you a specific because I don't pay attention to idiocy. And
okay.
That's idiocy.
So if you're going to call someone racist, I think you should be able to prove it.
Watch the news.
Pull up a clip where he's racist. Go ahead.
Oh, great. I'm so glad you asked.
It must not have been racist enough to remember, because you have to look it up. How do you guys feel about ICE?
Oh, all of these people are...
Thumbs up for ICE, thumbs down?
People that are against ICE.
I'm asking people. What's wrong with asking people their opinion?
I didn't say...
Did you find the racist clip yet?
Wrong with that. I just said that there were people. Majority of them here are against ICE.
How do you know that?
Because I know them.
Okay. Well, he supports ICE.
You support ICE? Which one? You? You support ICE? Oh, okay. I didn't think so.
What does ICE stand for?
Babe.
So you don't support something that you don't even know what it stands for?
Oh, I didn't respond for a reason.
Can you tell me what it stands for?
No, we're gonna go back to the Trump racism.
Right, okay.
Where's Mr. Denzel to say, stick it to him, stick it to him?
Well, Savannah does not play.
People are spending thousands of dollars sending their children to these indoctrination camps, man. And if this is the best that they have to offer, man, I mean, I feel really, really bad for the money being wasted, on these college campuses, man. Celeste, what are your thoughts?
This is the best that they have to offer.
Right.
Because this is exactly what the school is intended to do. It is living to its mission. Most of us are confused because we either came of age at a time, or we wrongly believe that the purpose of the school was something different than this level of indoctrination. I think this is a perfect scenario that you showed. and that is the absolute intellectual and psychological depravity of the Black woman. We have got to really understand that these Black liberal women are being driven insane. And by insane, I mean being driven beyond logic. You do not want to be in a position where you cannot access a logical train of thought when needed. That is a dangerous way to live your life. It is okay to have emotions. God gave us emotions for a reason. Emotions are supposed to be a signal for you. They're supposed to transmit through a signal, which is what you feel, some intelligence about the conditions around you. That's what emotions are for. But they are not to exist in exchange for logical train of thought. You are still supposed to be able to access logical trains of thought when needed, because in life you will need it. So you are supposed to be able to do that. If you really pay attention to liberalism, and particularly how women are processing and understanding white, Black, and different, women are processing and understanding it because the Democrats have removed, and I've said this before, the truth of their ideology, which they will not say. And instead of it, they have replaced it with this access to emotionalism. It is actually driving the women insane. And they have done studies to show that liberal women are the most depressed. They have the highest levels of anxiety. They are the least likely to be happy in marriage. Many of them are choosing not to have children. And even those who have are having difficulty raising and enjoying the experience of motherhood because they are being driven crazy by this rampant and excessive emotionalism that has no counterbalance for them in the society at all. This is a dangerous place to be. And if that woman had kept going, it is quite possible that that situation would have become violent, because we are seeing, if you look at what happened in Minnesota, if you're starting to look other places, these women are beginning to actually put their bodies on the line in violent situations because their emotionalism is spinning out of control. This is a small snippet of a very dangerous issue.
Man, Celeste, that was right on the money. I just want to add, this is what happens when we destroy the family, because Celeste said the counterbalance. I have girls. My girls are, and I have 3 girls. I have a wife and 2 daughters, and they all act like teenagers a lot of the time. And so there is a high need for the counterbalance in my household. And most men will agree that, you need a counterbalance, because a lot of the time, if they were just able to run amok without me saying anything, they would probably be just like this young lady. And I'm going to go on a limb. I bet you that girl was not raised with a dad in the house that would help her parse through her ideas and sort through them in that degree. And like Celeste said, I'm sure this would have gone, if this went on 4 more minutes, 4 minutes and 18 seconds, hands would have been thrown, because you can already see it ratcheting up. If you've been around it, you've seen it ratchet up. So this is what happens as the family structure is destroyed, and children are not raised in an environment where they can see male and female, adult male, adult female emotions being properly handled in the household. And therefore they don't have a way to regulate their own behavior.
Right.
I remember when Big Girl was little and she would get out of control, and we would tell her, reach up and grab your emotions. Go, reach up, grab them, pull them down. All right, now, because we would make her do that. It would be embarrassing and she would hate it. But I'm like, baby, that or we're going to embarrass you in public. So you got a couple of options. You can reach up and grab your emotions and get yourself under control, or I can reach and you will be in control. So teaching them that, because they don't have a dad in the house. Dads are vital. Shout out to pops, shout out to moms that are trying their best. But I think we all can agree God's perfect design was for a dad to be in the house.
There has to be balance.
Absolutely.
There you
Crystal, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, that's a tough
What
one.
I'll say is that I agree with Celeste and Jay Witt about the family, but I'm gonna take it a step further. This is why they decided to remove God from America, and this is why like I said, they changed that word from speak the truth to speak your truth. That's why they changed that. So people now feel emboldened because I'm going to read this to you. Trump is a racist because he's erasing Black History daily, refused to allow Jesse Jackson to be buried where he was supposed to be. He got rid of the only brown coin we had with Abraham Lincoln on it, has targeted Black women like yourself in high places of government, endorsed the Triple K. He cut HBCU funding. And I know you will roll your eyes, but the Biden-Harris gave more to HBCUs. Biden appointed more Black female judges instead of taking away jobs from them. And slave masters will kiss and hug and even assault Black men and women. So I guess with that rationale, they weren't racist either. And this is off of my Facebook page because I told you, them people over there crazy. Them people over there crazy. Okay? They're crazy.
I need to leave Facebook alone. I gotta get away from there.
Now, mind you, this is somebody that I went to high school with. And back then she had common sense.
Crystal, hold up 1 second. Trump's racist because he's getting rid of the penny?
That's what you did.
The penny is crazy work, y'all.
The only brown coin? Are we being serious? Is this a serious person? Is this real?
You should see her Facebook. Yeah.
It's on Facebook. It's one of the people that I knew in high school, and she's always been a very smart young woman. Not only that, she's supposed to be a woman of God, all of that. And that is her response when I said, I don't get out of this Black idolatry because you're not seeing straight. You're not seeing straight because everything you just said sounds absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Did you just say he took away the brown coin? So that means he's racist? Like I have no words for how ridiculous these people are.
Yo, that is insane.
That's a new
That
one.
is insane. I've never heard that one before. He took away the only brown coin out there. I've never heard. Yo, that's stupid.
Yeah, they was definitely in their feelings with that one.
AT has even tried his best to hold some people to the feet to the fire. There's one guy, AT calls him a girl. He refuses to even, but every time I speak, it's like, you support the racists. But again, when you ask them to articulate, give me actual factual things like what Savannah just did. She said, tell me what he has done. Said, tell me. Don't just make stuff up. I need to hear. But they literally, you heard what that young girl said. Just watch the news. Just watch the news. So she might be watching an Angela Rye, a Tiffany Cross. She might be watching Roly Poly Martin. She watches those people. So she comes out. Don't forget Bakari Selly's now. And what's the other guy? Mark
Lamont Hill.
Mark Lamont Hill. She might be watching all of them, right? So these are the things that's why she said, watch news, because this is the logic. I pulled that up on my Facebook purposely for y'all to hear it, because that is the logic that they're running around with. And the sad thing is, I just told you, this is a girl I went to high school with. So we're in the same age group, and this is how crazy she's talking. And so just imagine if the Gen Xers and the boomers, quote unquote, are running around with that mindset. No wonder children in college are running around with that same type of mindset, because you have people that are saying the dumbest things that you've ever heard in your life. And they have no point of reference, no receipts, nothing. They have zero, but this is what they're saying. So I just wanted to point that out.
Yeah.
All right. So I just dropped in the chat. I dropped in the private chat. They've been talking about getting rid of the penny since like the 80s.
Long time. Yeah.
Now, granted, yes. Now they're finally going to stop minting it on November 12th, 2025 is when they said that they're going to stop producing pennies. That is true. But it had been in the works for literally decades. I mean, we lose money making pennies.
3 cents. Yeah, it costs
3 cents. We lose money making pennies.
1 cent.
Yep.
It's from a business, just from a business perspective, it makes absolutely no sense to continue making pennies if the penny is only worth 1 cent, but it costs you 3 cents to make it. You're losing money every time you make one. It's stupid. Rashad, what are your thoughts? That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard right there. Goodness gracious.
I thought the Black History one was pretty bad too, though, but I digress.
Yeah, Black History is pretty bad, but the coin, really, they got rid of the one brown coin.
The coin is the one. I think I made like a grimace. I was like, when I heard that
brown coin.
I think so. Kind of going back a bit. This is actually a conversation. I actually have this conversation like regularly with all kinds of different people about the Black community and emotions. There's a big problem here. This is where I think one of the biggest problems exists, because when you have these conversations, it just turns into, name calling, people just not listening. The emotions just go from 0 to 100 so fast. And I think that's a huge issue, because in my personal life, anytime I've moved from a more emotional standpoint, I can't think of one time in my entire life where that has benefited me at all. It's always led to some sort of negative outcome. I can't speak for everybody, but in general, that has been definitely my experience. Anytime I move with strategy and with clarity, then like 9 times out of 10, I win at whatever I'm doing. So in our community, we're being told, hey, being emotional and being angry is all the time is okay. We should feel emotional. We should be mad, and we should move like that. But what does that do? It keeps people in that trauma bond, right? That trauma bondage where there's no clarity, there's no thought, there's no strategy. And I always promote this on the channel, like, hey, be strategic. Like I'm against Black fragility, right? The term Black fragility, where everybody, there's a video where I think it was some sports players thought that somebody called them the N-word over in Japan,
and then
they
football player.
Yeah, and they like, hey, you need to apologize. I should slap you, and it was just ridiculous. And they didn't even say that. They said amiga. It was so stupid. And I was like, this is the kind of stuff I'm talking about. Like, okay, what if they would have attacked this man? Like you possibly ruining your career, making that
he has. I mean, he's playing football in Japan. I mean, come on now.
Well, yeah, I mean,
it's not soccer. I'm not talking about. It's not soccer either. It's not soccer, but
right.
But whatever it is, I don't know what their laws are there, but I'd imagine they're probably more strict than they are in America. So you're probably not going to get off easy. So a guy's looking at possibly ruining his entire life over a misconception, over mishearing something and overreacting to it. And that's the type of stuff that I mean is we got to be smarter on the whole, right? Like for me, it's not enough if people in this chat, and us talking are, we're getting it. That message has to get out to more people every day so that they know, like, hey, if I'm angry, or if I hear something, or if I see something, I'm not saying to just ignore everything that's an affront to you, but we got to get out of this mindset of we have to overreact to everything. Like, okay, is this overreaction going to benefit me? Like, think about that for a split second. If the answer is no, then keep it moving and go towards whatever your goal is, rather than allowing all of these external factors that are outside of your control to derail your life because you're basically an emotionally unhinged individual.
AT, we'll give you the last word on this, man. We'll keep it moving.
I think it's really easy to laugh at the penny comment when everyone up here is darker than the penny besides myself. But I digress. Wow. I'm disappointed. Normally, Wise, you have stuff that gets me highly upset on a Friday, but you haven't gotten there yet, and so I'm grateful. This young lady is so disappointing because she's going to wind up going on and potentially, I don't know what her degree is in. She could be a manager one day. She could be working in finance. She could be in charge of things that have to do with your bottom line, with your retirements. I have no idea. But she's going to wind up probably being successful in the indoctrination center known as college. I wanted to point out 2 things that she said that really stick out to me, because y'all, whenever Wise puts these videos up here, I like to find the truth. I don't want to be someone like this who just regurgitates what I hear on the news, because then you run the risk of being wrong, and now you got to double down on wrong, which is what most people unfortunately do, or you have to eat crow and kind of take a step back and humble yourself, which most people don't want to do. Do y'all notice that she just went right by the rape thing? Right? She said she supports, this is her words, she supports the condemnation of rape, but she was not willing to go far enough to say that these people, regardless of skin color, should be arrested, should be jailed, or put to death, depending on where your stance is at. The second it started talking about punishment, she was like, well, no, it's racist. We shouldn't do this. That's where we're at in society. Rape is not that big of a deal anymore, y'all. As long as you have the skin color aligned with the party that wants to protect you, you can do whatever it is you want to do. And then she said, well, they're just deporting the brown people. That's it. Y'all caught that, right? She said it's just the brown people that are being deported, and I couldn't do it. I heard it, and I was like, well, that's a quantifiable thing. We don't have to guess. I know we can lean on the news, but I can take less than 3 minutes to figure out if that's true. It's not, by the way. Going to the American Community Media, which is a liberal source, by the way, just using their numbers, about 67% of undocumented immigrants, illegal immigrants, by the way, come from Mexico and Central America, which means somewhere between, according to their range, 30 to 35%, some from Asia, South America, Europe, Africa, and the Caribbean, do not fall underneath the Hispanic brown populace. So that's not even close to being accurate. But like Minister, I'm going to keep going back to Minister Danzel because I miss him today. And this is what we do. Crystal knows that there's nothing more aggravating than when you ask someone a question. They will come up there and say that Trump is racist, or that they're only deporting the brown people, or all the stuff they have in between. I encourage everyone here, especially if you're a believer, practice your apologetics. Don't just start screaming at them. Just ask them questions. 2 favorite questions. Why do you say that? And where do you get it from? And don't be afraid to ask those follow-ups. Well, I get it from the news. I love what she did, but she shouldn't have let her run. Pull it up right now. Nope, we're not listening. We're not talking anymore. I'm not going to anybody else. I'm not hearing what you have to say. You don't have the mic. We're going to stay right here. Pull it up. And you notice that she couldn't do it. Right? She was uncomfortable with that because she has been empowered, like a lot of individuals on the left, by mainstream media saying you're a victim. You should be empowered for being a victim. You are individual and unique. We don't really care about the country we're in. You should just care about how people treat you, which should always be positive. And if they don't, they're racist, homophobic, fatphobic, or all this stuff in between. I want to make sure that these young individuals are challenged. I'd love Celeste to come with me, Crystal, down to Atlanta, just walk on some of these campuses and see how fast they kick us off of it. Because I want to ask some questions. This is the youth. This is the future of the United States. She could be running for office in the next 20 years if she wanted to. And she genuinely is getting all of her information, not the encyclopedia. Words mean nothing, so not the dictionary. Certainly not a history book, not facts, figures, or statistics. News. And I wish she would have asked her, do you think the news always tells you the truth? Just to see what her response would have been. That was great, Wise. Didn't really get me too upset, right? But I do worry about the future for the United States and some of the young people.
AT, I'm literally right behind you, and I mean behind you.
We're going to keep it moving.
No, I was just going to support AT on what he said, because
I know y'all. I know y'all. Y'all get long-winded. We'll be.
That's why you have me go last, because you know I talk a lot. I'm gonna stop.
Shout out to Corvin coming through with the $10 super chat. Says all the years of people saying the absence or abandonment of religion and God would create a more loving, rational society, but instead it fractured us, created insanity, hysteria, and moral decay.
That's right.
Yes,
absolutely.
Yeah, it's almost like you shall know the good. You shall know the difference between good and evil. Oh man, it's kind of like you lied to him. Dang.
Shout out to Teddy with the $2 super chat. Says my washing machine is racist for removing brown spots.
There's so many wrong things in that sentence. Wow. So many wrong things. Let's move on.
I'm going to use that. Thank you, Teddy. I'm going to use that. I'm going to respond to her.
It's the same logic.
Right, but let's not be children.
Golly, come on, Teddy. Come on, Teddy.
Let's not do it.
Shout out to 2020 Vision with the $5 super chat. Says Celeste, I'm behind a bit, but you're 1000% right about that YouTuber. She already had a situation that went violent in NYC in the same scenario. Yeah.
She has
young
security
lady punched
now.
her in the face.
She has security now. She has the Black Line Guardian security, so she has people there to protect her.
Good, because that lady hauled off, and it wasn't nice. That wasn't pretty. Shout out to Spaces.
I think unfortunately, I think she got away with it too.
Yeah, she did.
It was New York City. Of course she got away with it.
Of course it was New York City.
What's up, Spaces? Big money Spaces. Thank you for hitting the collection plate, man. $2 super chat says the nickel isn't brown either. Isn't brown either, brother. Stay woke.
You spent $2 for that, Spaces. You could do so much better, sir. I've seen some of your good work. That wasn't it.
Space is crazy, yo. Space is a trip. And shout out to Captain Jack's coming through with the $20 super chat. Says my granddaughters get angry when white libs call them sellouts and they are disrespecting their blackness, if that's even a thing, for wearing their Trump hats, we white folks need to stay in our lane.
Should give your granddaughters every statistic that shows how black people thrived during Trump's first presidency, housing, education, crime rates, and then see what people say in response to it.
Absolutely. Shout out to Sally Ott with the $10 super sticker. Appreciate the support this morning. All righty, let's keep it moving. I'm sure you guys heard about the multitude of attacks yesterday.
Yeah.
And, you know, that's kind of happened over the past, couple weeks, but there's a lot that has happened and transpired over the past, I don't know, I guess month now. I want to play this clip for you, and we'll get in it. Rashad, we'll give you the first word when we come back.
Sure.
That's what jihadis have done in the U.S. in the last week. One shoots up a bar in Austin, Texas, kills 2, shoots 14. Another one lights a Molotov cocktail and throws it at Christians in New York City. Another one throws a nail bomb or shrapnel IED at Christians in New York City. Another one tries to bomb a Southwest flight going from Nashville to Fort Lauderdale. Another one throws another IED shouting Allahu Akbar at a protest near Gracie Mansion in New York City. Another one makes a bomb threat and forces a plane to land in Atlanta. Another one drops a bomb threat at Kansas City Airport. And the DHS is reporting that jihadi threats against churches across the U.S. right now are completely exploding. Radical Islam, for some reason, is the one religion that the left will fight for till their dying breath, for whatever reason. And Christianity is somehow always the problem. Funny how that works.
Afternoon, we should point out that the test vote in the Senate to fund DHS has failed yet again. And you think with all of this going on, to not fully fund DHS just would seem to be right out there in the realm of crazy. But I also want to bring it back to this idea of here we have another situation where a good guy with a gun, who was a paid security guard, we should add, took down a bad guy with a gun in a vehicle, which he rammed into this synagogue. I mean,
this is in Virginia, and this is Old Dominion University. Police cars there you can see gathered. A gunman is dead after injuring 2 people at Old Dominion University, according to officials there at the school. A gunman opened fire in Constant Hall at about 10:50 a.m. East Coast time. And officials are saying 2 people were hurt as a result. We do not know what their conditions medically are right now. This is all the information we're getting in right now. And you're looking at
Fox News alert. Sources telling Fox News the truck that the suspect used to ram a Michigan synagogue is registered to a naturalized U.S. citizen, this time from Lebanon, who lives in Dearborn, Michigan. All right, let's bring in former Michigan candidate Tudor Dixon. Tudor, there's so many details here now, and we'll try to take each detail responsibly with only what we know. But let's start with Dearborn, Michigan. This is where this individual is from. Dearborn has been in the headlines as a very, very predominantly Muslim community with a Muslim community leader.
We're seeing the real-life consequences to the elevation and platforming and legitimizing of anti-Semitic voices. To be crystal clear, we do not know the motivations of the attacker, this would-be mass murderer of Jews. We don't know their political views. But the Overton window, the measure of acceptable discourse, has opened to some of the most hateful anti-Semitic voices out there on the left and the right.
Well, the Republican Party is having right now a real fight on its hands, has a real fight on its hands amid wings of the Republican Party that are extremely anti-Semitic or flirting with anti-Semitism, and Republicans on the other side of the party who are saying, hold on, what are you doing? This is ripping us apart. Democrats are having a fight on that as well, but it's been pretty pronounced within the Republican Party.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's
Ted Cruz and Tucker Carlson alone.
Yes, I mean, there's a bunch of different axes, and it gets very sort of difficult to disentangle them. I mean, there is a rising sort of avowedly white nationalist, Groyper Nazi adjacent part of the party that is sort of increasingly, I think, ordering its politics around not just criticism of the Israeli government, but a view of Israel as the single most powerful world actor, and as Jews as the single most powerful world actor, and as Jews manipulating America to prey upon it. And these are, of course, the oldest anti-Semitic tropes. And you have someone like, Nick Fuentes, who went on Tucker's show, and someone that was worked with him is going to be part of the college Republicans now at the national level. Like, it's not that far. Michelle Goldberg's got a great column in the New York Times today about Florida candidate who's sort of drawing on that energy. And it remains, I think, a kind of fringe tendency, but it's getting larger.
History doesn't repeat, but it does rhyme, right?
Yeah.
Between Muslims in the West, Muslims and the people of the Jewish faith, in large part because of what's happening in Iran. And you have to wonder about the connectedness. You have to wonder about the ways in which this environment further radicalizes people. And you have to wonder fundamentally about the degree to which this White House, which has been caught completely flat-footed on a war of choice, really has the personnel in place and actually the interest in keeping Americans safe. Because thus far, the data that we've been given, whether it's the Pentagon downplaying the brutality of the attack that killed the 6 American service members in Kuwait, whether it is the president wearing a baseball cap to a dignified transfer, whether it is the way in which he talks about the collateral damage of war, it doesn't give you a sense that the safety and the security of the American people is paramount. What we have found in the past week is that it's all about Donald Trump and him maintaining this sort of stranglehold he has on power, and everything else is up for grabs.
Police say they started getting phone calls about an active shooter at ODU's campus around 10:43 a.m. yesterday. By 10:50, that suspect was dead, taken down by a group of ROTC students. So we know the police identified the suspect as 36-year-old Mohammed Jallo, a former Virginia National Guardsman. While authorities had not mentioned a motive, they say Jallo had wanted to conduct an attack similar to the 2009 shooting in Fort Hood, Texas. Jallo was convicted by the Justice Department.
In 2016, Jallo was arrested and pled guilty for attempting to provide material support to ISIL, now known as ISIS. Jallo was sentenced to prison in October of 2017 and was released from prison in 2024.
In a letter asking for leniency in that 2016 case, Jallo says he felt the need to give back to the U.S. after starting college at ODU and shortly after he joined the National Guard. Now FBI Director Kash Patel says the agency is investigating this shooting at ODU as an act of terrorism. Investigators say Jallo shouted Allahu Akbar before opening fire.
I'd like to acknowledge the students who showed extreme bravery and courage by containing the containing the shooter and stopping further loss of life. There were students that were in that room that subdued him. They basically were able to terminate the threat.
Lieutenant Colonel Brandon Shaw was killed in this attack. He was an Army ROTC instructor and had enlisted in 2003 as an aviation operations specialist. The Secretary of the Army says both people hurt were Army personnel.
Wow.
A
Oh
lot,
boy.
man. It's a
Oh
lot,
boy.
man.
Yeah. Well, no worries. I definitely got this one covered. So the first, I mean, I'm just gonna be pretty blunt. It's probably one of the more blunt messages I've had. I definitely believe that the left is a party of violence. I say on a regular basis that I call them the radical left, the violent left, the atheist left, the anti-God, the party of illegal aliens, right? There is criticism for Trump here. Oh, Trump doesn't care about life, whatever they're talking about. But when you bring up like these angel moms, I'm sure we've all heard of them, right? These women who've had their daughters killed, or raped by illegal aliens, or both by illegal aliens. Democrats refuse to even stand up, even when the women are present there, when they're being honored. The Democrats, during a State of the Union address on 2 separate occasions, refused to stand and honor them. And then they claim to care about human life. You have Islamic terrorists killing people, and you have CNN covering for it and being concerned that the attacks against Islam are going to get worse, even though the ones who are committing all the terrorist attacks are these Islamic extremists. They're covering for these trans lunatics who keep going out there and shooting up schools and trying to hide what's happening there. And then they try to say, well, Trump doesn't care about the people, even though all these other tragedies happen. And then networks like CNN and MS Now, who was so bad they couldn't even get NBC to keep them, they end up losing their entire network and become MS Now, which most people don't even know what their name. They probably wouldn't even know what their name was if we didn't repeat them on podcasts like this. So Zaran Mamdani out of New York, Zaran Mamdani, his wife liked a post about October 7th, right? Where someone was celebrating October 7th, you know, vicious attack against Israel. As a guy who's not even pro-Israel, I'm not pro or anti. I'm pretty neutral, but I know that they're an ally of America, and they elected him, right? I mean, a lot of this information was known. He wasn't exactly condemning the attack for a long time against Israel. So there were so many things that happened. Charlie Kirk's death. Look how many people on the left celebrated it. What's happening is, if anybody wonders, it's very obvious. Islam, the reason why Islam is being embraced, not that all Islam is bad, but the reason why in particular they're embracing is because it's being used as a tool to attack Christianity, right? Just like everything else. This is just another tool. You know, if atheism couldn't do it, then maybe Islam can. Maybe people who are more violent and more extreme can get Christians to start backing down, start being more afraid, you know, maybe go to church less, you know, maybe be less outspoken, go to less protests. That's the goal, is to suppress Christianity, to suppress Jesus Christ. Inevitably, even using methods of killing, in case in point, Charlie Kirk, right, to do it. A man who's spreading the word of God to youth, right? The kid took this man out. So it's all very strategic what's happening here. You radicalize all these other individuals, and then they go and they execute on this will, this anti-God, this anti-Christian will, and then blame the other side and say the other side's doing it. Oh, we're somehow going to war to stop the terrorists, but we're somehow the bad guys, or Trump's somehow the bad guys. I think is beyond ridiculous, to be honest with you guys.
Celeste, we'll give you the next word. What are your thoughts?
I do think that Rashad is right about using Islam as a tool to attack a Christianity. Basically, part of the reason they have set up all of these intersectional race and gender and sexuality groups is to be able to use them as tools, as fronts for the devastation of the United States that they want to create. So whenever they want to do something and they want to create some kind of attack on the Constitution or attack on America, they can say, oh, it's racist. And that's supposed to be the shield that can't be penetrated, so that, that there can be no criticism of anything that they're doing that's attacking the Constitution, because it could be racist. That ends when Black people stand up and say, no, it's not. This is an attack on the Constitution. If they want to do something that they want to say attack the family, they say, oh, no, that's against the LGBT. Can't do that. Can't discuss it. Can be no criticism. There can be no real look at it because it's against the LGBT. That ends when LGBT people stand up and say, no, this is an attack on the family. This is not about the LGBT. Each of these so-called groups have a responsibility to stop allowing themselves to be used so that the globalists can create conflict, can attack our Constitution, can rearrange the world in the order in which they want it, and use and do it on the backs of your so-called suffering. You can stop this when you take responsibility for yourself and stop allowing other people to take your image and your so-called plight and use it for their evil.
AT, what are your thoughts, bro?
This is a rough one. I'm not going to lie. My unit was the unit that got shot up by Major Hassan on Fort Hood, Texas. I met Major Hassan. For those who don't know, people coming back from overseas deployments, you have to go through like this whole medical processing. It takes forever all day. And he was doing a lot of the out processing. Seemed like a normal guy. A couple months later, he wound up shooting up the field there at Fort Hood, Texas, and then wound up getting getting arrested for it. The fact that this gentleman wanted to mirror that kind of shooting makes me say this, and I have to always say this disclaimer, one, so Wise's live doesn't get taken down, and two, so I don't get all the hate mail from you all. The individual who practices Islam, we have hope for them. We hope they find Christ. We hope they have salvation, no different than the rapist or the individual who's on death row. I'm not attacking them. Oh, but Islam, the one thing I disagree with, the first lady who was up there, she said radical Islam is a threat. Islam is a threat. All of Islam is radical. I understand that people interpret it a different way, and I know that people will say, well, no, I know someone who follows Islam. They're really nice and all that stuff. If you have not read the Quran, if you have not gone deep into the context of the Quran, if you don't know your history, you're just repeating something that you feel, and that's not going to be helpful for the United States of America. But I want to take a different way and explain why liberals don't like the intervention that happens with these crimes that are happening. You saw they didn't fund DHF. Well, there's a reason why for it. It's all strategic for them. If they let all of this run rampant the rest of this year, then they get to say at come the midterms and come the election after this in 2028, they can say, look how chaotic it was underneath Republicans. Look how much violence there was underneath Trump and underneath whoever it is in the certain district you might be voting for. They have no incentive to stop the violence. If anything, it helps them. The more people that get hurt, the more news media coverage that can be brought about all these bombings and all the shootings, that's good for them. Brother, I hope you're a gentleman. If not, I apologize. Comment section says something that should really put this clear to everyone. He said, nonconformist 0189. I love the comment. He said, we have black preachers arrested on the streets for harassment and women arrested outside abortion clinics for silently praying for their slaughtered children. But they will not fund the Department of Homeland Security to stop attacks of a terrorist nature because it aligns with their agenda. We know that liberals want you to be emotional. They want you to be violent because they're going to defend you even if you do get in trouble for it. We know that liberals want you to die in a lot of cases. Thank you, Rashad, for mentioning Charlie Kirk. So don't be surprised when something like this comes out and you got a head in the sand, the building's on fire around them, and they pretend like they can't see it. They're going to continue to say this is Trump's fault. They're going to continue to say that it's racism's fault or some kind of conceptual concept like all the isms out there, but they will not, like the girl before this when it came to rape, they will not address the crime. They want to address whatever makes them feel good. I don't think anything's going to wind up changing. I'll be honest with you, unless people on the right, conservatives or Christian, depending on which bucket you want to be in, if not all of them, stop letting this hit us. Stop being defensive about it, right? Stop having them say, oh, you're a horrible person and you're just upset about X, Y, and Z. I'm not saying I'm sorry to you for calling out righteousness, what needs to be called out, and for calling out wickedness when it needs to be called out. We have to make sure we're bold moving forward because, look, this is going to get a lot worse if you have either been to a country that primarily is Islam following, or if you have experienced this in real life. And I think that's the issue. I'll land on this. Most liberals, I'll keep saying this, don't know violence. They don't know the consequences that come from situations like this because they think it's never going to happen to them. And when it does, they'll start their foundation, they'll get a GoFundMe, and no one's going to care because people don't want to see that. They want to be able to be taken care of by Uncle Sam. They want to be told that they're absolutely wonderful, awesome, and unique, and they don't want to look at the actual reality of the world. It's going to want to smack them in the face one day.
Jay Witt, what are your thoughts, bro?
The video that we watched, I think for everybody that watched it is like, well, what can I do? What do we do? We preach the gospel. Right. We see we're looking out over the field and we recognize that the harvest is plentiful, but the laborers are few. We just go and we preach the gospel. That's it. If they bang their heads on the ground 5 times a day, we preach the gospel to them. If they're wicked leaders, we preach the gospel to them. If they think they're good to go and they don't have to worry about anything, we preach the gospel to them. That's it. That's the only tool that we have of that and give them the word of God. That's it. So preach the gospel and don't wring your hands. Don't feel like, woe is me. The sky's falling. Nothing we can do. No, that's absolutely 100% a lie. We preach the gospel. And that's what I say.
Crystal, will you get the last word on this?
Okay, I got my notes. So I'm not long-winded.
Notes.
I got notes, so I won't be long-winded.
I'm gonna take a nap. Go ahead.
I said yesterday to everybody that it is necessary that you stop just going to vote because you're beholden to a party. I told y'all that for a specific reason. When you look at the writings and the videos of Tucker Carlson, Candace Owens, Megyn Kelly, Thomas Massey, Marjorie Taylor Greene, and the rest of them that are so anti-Semitic. Many people are like, well, Crystal, you know, that's just Jews. You're a Christian. Why are you worried about that? Because I kept warning people. They're starting with the Jews and they're going to come to the Christians. Like, people weren't getting that. They start with the Jews and they're coming after the Christians. And then quickly you saw Candace went from talking about the Jews to evangelical Christians. She shifted real quick and started demonizing the Christians. Now, why am I saying that? Because it's easy for us to say about the Democrats and liberals. We know they're crazy. Period, point blank. We know they're crazy. But y'all fail to realize there are some very twisted people. The Nick Fuentes, who I actually listened to last a clip of him say, let us all go vote for the Democrat Party in the midterms and support the Democrats so I want to make the Trump administration hurt so we can get rid of them. What kind of foolishness is this? When we see the foolishness, when we see all of these attacks, we want to let Trump be removed so that we could put the same people who opened the border and have all of these sleeper cells sitting in our country. We want to put them back in power. These are the people that are sitting within this Republican Party. And this is why I tell y'all, I'm a Christian first. That is what I am. Do not say, Christian, you're a Republican. No. I am a Christian because I'm going to use logic and wisdom that the Lord gives me, the discernment that the Lord gives me. So I told y'all the anti-Semitism was going to be a problem. Stop doing it now. If you are supporting Candace in that foolishness, Tucker, stop the foolishness, because I keep telling you, you are one stone throw away from it being Christians. And that's exactly what's happening, because right now, that same group of people, they're going after synagogues and churches. What do I mean by that? I showed a clip on my live the other night, but there's a whole lot more. There's a trend now, because those same people in that Islam ideology, they are showing their alpha moves now. Do you know what their alpha move is? They're going into churches, Christian churches, and starting to do the call to prayer and all of that in Christian churches, because they're telling you, we're here, we're taking over. They're coming in to take over. And this is a problem. And no one is like, people aren't picking this up. And that's why I said, stop supporting the foolishness. I don't care stop saying, oh, this person is MAGA, so I'm going to support. Are they? Because Tucker Carlson really sounded like he was MAGA until he wasn't. Now, as far as the Christians, I need y'all to wake up. Oh my gosh. Because the fact, I just watched a video last night of the people, Muslims, going into schools, handing out brochures in schools, in a school building, in Wiley ISD in Texas. They're handing out pamphlets, hijabs, and they're handing out Qurans, and they're giving out pamphlets on Sharia law, trying to explain it's not that bad. That's literally what they're doing in schools. And I said, why Wiley ISD? That is not a private school. That is a public school. They're going in and doing that. So we need to be doing, listen, if they can get into schools, then Christians need to be able to go up into schools. Let's just be real. That's what I was feeling last night. I said, hold on. Y'all have a problem if we come to schools, talk about 10 commandments. Oh, no. I'm going to make it my business to see how I can get into the schools and teach these children just as well, because we have to combat it. We're just sitting around here watching and praying. The Lord says to be doers as well. He said to go out and make disciples of all nations. He didn't say stay in your house and pray about it. He said to go out and make disciples. That means you have to leave your comfort zone and go out there. Next on my list, when they want to talk about Trump and the hat, do you remember Joe Biden doing this? Do we remember that? Because somehow or the other, y'all forgot when they were bringing in the soldiers' lives that were lost. Mm-hmm. Joe Biden was sitting there watching his watch. Trump was at least handling things. Yeah, he was wearing a hat. Okay. But Joe Biden, he clearly had somewhere to go, because why am I here with the lost soldiers that have lost their lives? Why am I here? But y'all want to talk about that. And next, Charlie Kirk. I'm just going to remind y'all, because so many people say they're supporters of Charlie Kirk. He said Jew hate is brain rot. So many of y'all say y'all align with Charlie Kirk. Maybe do some research, because exactly what he said is true. And lastly, I want to remind y'all, Satan is the author of confusion. That is what he is. And this is what is happening here. When you have them changing gender they're combining all kinds of beliefs. So they want to bring in Islam when they're bringing in the Marxist ministers and the pulpit pimps, all of them in the space. They're just trying to create confusion. That is why you need to get to the word. Get to the word, because my God, the God that I serve, is a God of order. And when you have the wisdom and discernment, you will not be fooled by any of this, and you'll be ready for battle. We need to put on our full armor of God. And this is where I'm landing my plane. You need to be declaring Psalm 91 over you and your family, applying the blood of the Lamb over your family, and put on that full armor of God every time you even attempt to leave that house. In fact, the minute you open your eyes, because at this point in time, our head needs to be on a swivel, because these people, we heard about the planes. They're looking at schools. They're looking at churches. They're looking at malls. They're looking at sporting events. And what's coming here? Isn't FIFA coming here? So they're looking for all kinds of things. So don't just be getting up to me. Every time you leave the house, you need to ask God, do I need to be going there? Even if it's someplace you really want to go. And he says, no, you better sit your butt down, because you don't know what is about to transpire, especially with this foolishness that's going on. And that's what I have for y'all.
Absolutely. With that being said, we're going to keep it moving. But before we do, I want to make sure that, we say rest in peace to Lieutenant Colonel Brandon Shaw. We want to send our condolences to his family, in this trying time. I know they did not expect for this to happen. It's a young man just doing his job on campus. It's unfortunate, man. It's very unfortunate. We'll read a couple super chats and we'll keep things moving. All right. Shout out to Caleb, says, come through with the $5 super chat, says, it blows my mind how people still claim the Trump racist narrative. I'm so tired of it.
That's all they got.
That's all they have.
That's really all they got, yeah.
Shout out to Rud with the $2 super sticker. Appreciate you. Thank you to Jay Will with the $2 super chat, says, love this channel and its participants. Appreciate you, man.
Shout out.
That profile picture.
Thank you to Mark coming through with the $5 super chat, says, thank you all for the hard work on important topics. Appreciate you, Mark. And shout out to Caleb with the $5 super chat, says, our president always promised peace through strength. How do people think America became America? Yeah,
They're not ready for that conversation, Caleb.
They're not ready. People forget that freedom is not free. There's a price that has to be paid. Shout out to Hunter with the $10 super chat, says, what I never understood, and it infuriates me, is how this guy who was convicted and sent to jail for conspiring with ISIS is not denaturalized and kicked out of our country.
Amazing.
Yeah.
That's a nice way of saying it. I'll be honest with you, Hunter.
Yeah, very nice. Very nice. Thank you, Hunter. What time is it? 11:30? I think we got some time. I want to play this clip from Glenn Beck. I want to get through it pretty quickly because there's one other thing that I want to showcase to you guys before we get out of here, and I want to be respectful, of you guys' time. But I want to play this clip from Glenn Beck in reference the SAVE Act. I thought it was pretty good, so check this out.
Pass the SAVE Act. I'm not sure we make it. The SAVE Act is still out there. Donald Trump is saying, he likes Paxton's idea, which I think is the best thing that Donald Trump has done with Congress in a long time. I mean, he is actually really saying it out loud to the American people. Paxton, what a great idea. Maybe I don't endorse anybody until I know if they're going to pass the SAVE Act. Maybe I endorse Cornyn, but maybe I do wait. Because maybe if Cornyn isn't for the SAVE Act, maybe he shouldn't be the guy I endorse.
Can you unpack why not passing the SAVE Act would be the death of the Republic just a little bit more?
Yeah, because, look, you have imported, let's say 15, probably closer to 20 million people. They have all been radicalized, and all of these states have taken and pushing them into vote. So you don't have, between the voting machines, the mail-in ballots that seem to be highly suspect at this point, you have no control over the vote in so many states. I'm not asking for it to lean one way or another. I just want them to be accurate. And I think that's what every American is saying when you hear the voting act. If you don't have a safe vote, if you don't have one that you can say clearly every time, that is secure. Those ballots, the ballots that were issued, were the ballots that went to the people who have a right to vote, and they were counted properly, and that's the result. If you don't have that, the first thing that happens is you have no confidence. And so you'll constantly go back and forth on it was a stolen election. You don't have a nation if it's a stolen election. You have a third world nation. That's what every third world nation, they have to send in the UN inspection team to be able to verify. Well, you don't have a real nation unless you can count on that. So you lose the trust of the actual, your vote counts, which we're close to entirely losing it. We have really this time to fix it. The other is, the other side. Why are the Democrats going against their own voting base? Why would they go against their own? Do you really think they believe this? No. You have Chuck Schumer saying the exact opposite thing he said, 5 or 6 years ago. You have all of them on tape saying the exact opposite without being able to certify that these people are actual voters. But somehow or another, they changed. The Democratic voter didn't change. Just the leadership changed. The leadership, the same people who said the opposite 5 years ago. So what's the new information, Chuck Schumer? What changed your mind? There's only one thing that changed your mind, and that's about power. We have the ability to sway the election. That's it.
I do ask that you guys be brief, but Celeste, I'll give you the first word.
I think the SAVE Act, we've talked about this, and we're going to have to keep talking about it until it passes. It is a cornerstone for the MAGA movement. It is a cornerstone of what got Trump elected. He has to get the SAVE Act passed, and it was a cornerstone of what attracted independent and other groups that would traditionally not have voted for Trump or had voted Republican to give him a shot, because people realize that the integrity of the country is connected to the ability of citizens in this country having self-determination. How do we get self-determination? We have it through the vote. If the vote can be co-opted and corrupted, then all of a sudden America is not America anymore. It is whatever the co-option, the corruption is going to turn it into, but it has no chance of being the America that we ideally want, and that is ideally on paper. We cannot pursue a more perfect union if we cannot secure a vote. Now, having these people, first of all, and I've said this before, I think it is unconstitutional, and maybe they can get to this as a priority after the SAVE Act is passed, God willing, and that is this idea of sanctuary cities. You do not get to defy the federal government in areas in which the Constitution gives the federal government supremacy. There should be no such thing as a sanctuary city, because what that does is it allows these people to say, okay, you bring all of your illegals here, we will give them sanctuary. And part of sanctuary is ushering them into the mechanics for voting. We'll give you a driver's license so you can drive and you can work and you can get a job. They don't say, and you can vote. Once you have an ID and a license, all of a sudden, things that are reserved for American citizens begin to open up for you. So this is how they are doing that. They call it resettling. You're getting Social Security numbers. You're getting all of these benefits that are entitled to American citizens. But once the ID is granted, all of a sudden now you have inroads into these things that are reserved for Americans. We have to say that this is the beauty in this. If there's any silver line we can take, is once again, an enemy is being exposed. And the enemy is not always Democrats, but the enemy is always a globalist. And we see that many Republicans, John Thune and the like, who are doing everything they can do to slow and to stop the passage of the SAVE Act, basically is an admission of the fact that they do not want America. We want America. The people want America. Leadership does not. These people in leaderships, rhinos, dinos, whatever you want to call them, and I'm sure they are, have no interest in preserving a constitutional republic. We want that. They don't. And we have to understand, we have to hold them, because the one thing they are is weak. If the base that wants this country calls John Thune's office and breaks the system and the phone system in the Senate building, such that nobody can receive a phone call because the floodgate is open, and we tell them we want the SAVE Act or there is going to be ish to pay, I'm telling you, we will get the SAVE Act. You have to ask yourself, what does it mean when they say that the SAVE Act, through surveys that they've done, has 90% popularity among Americans? That's Democrats, that's Republicans, that's independents. And the people you elected to represent you look you in your face. They play in your face and say, I know you want it, and I'm refusing to give it to you. That's not your leader anymore. That person is working for someone else. They are not working for you.
Crystal, we'll give you the next word.
You know, at the end of the day, I always tell you guys that, you know, I live by everything by the word, and the Lord detests dishonest scales, but accurate weights find favor with him. And at the end of the day, we need free and fair elections. That's what we need. And the fact that people don't understand that, this is the problem. I agree with Celeste. They like to bring in the foreigners, not only just for the ballot, but to keep seats. Because then when the census goes, when they start doing the census, all it does is, for the Democrats, it helps to give them a reason why they need to have more seats. And people need to remember all these things. So at the end of the day, we need to revamp the entire thing. I'm just gonna say it. We need to revamp. We gotta get rid of all these people, get the census done correctly, get our free and fair elections, because this is America, and it is for Americans to take care of. And again, these people, when you bring in these foreigners, you have people like Rashida Tlaib and Ilhan Omar that get into office. You have these type of people, and they are ruining everything that America stands for at this point in time. So I will get in more in depth on Gutter Bunny, but yeah.
Got you. Rashad, what are your thoughts?
So it's obvious the Democrats want to steal elections with legal alien votes. We know that it happens. The 2020 election was a big fraud. I mean, I really question the intelligence of people who act like that was a fair and normal election. I witnessed fraud happen, unfortunately, and you know, where I witnessed it, they denied that it ever happened, but I witnessed it before my very eyes. So I know that people were getting away with it. The Democrats know that they have no chance. Their parties went so far off a cliff. They know that they have no chance without being able to pull some sort of stunt to steal elections. They're always going to try something slightly different, but they certainly don't want to give away one of the biggest cards in their hand. So I don't see them letting that go easily. As for the Republicans here, I got a lot of questions about this, because the Republicans have no chance either. If this doesn't pass the way that things are today. I mean, obviously, if more and more illegal aliens inevitably become citizens, then the Republicans stand no chance, because the majority of them aren't voting or would not vote for the Republicans if they know that they could be possibly denaturalized and, you know, deported or something like that. So they're not going to support people that are saying that they're going to do that. So any Republican that is not trying to pass the SAVE Act, I think that they're plain old dumb. I haven't heard any good reason, not even one ever, for any Republican not supporting this, and yet I'm definitely seeing them dragging their feet and trying to use this as some sort of almost weapon against President Trump for whatever reason, even though it's to their own detriment. So if they want to get permanently kicked out of office, which is definitely a possibility, I mean, then they can F around and find out, I guess. But if anyone knows that their leader in their district or their state or wherever is not supporting the what Trump is now calling the Save America Act, then you need to get rid of whoever the heck that is, because they're definitely not serving you. They are definitely serving someone else, like Celeste was saying.
Absolutely. AT, we get the last word and we're going to keep it moving.
I'll be quick on this one. I just want to go on to what Celeste is saying here, because it's so important that people don't miss the point that she said just now. When you elect somebody as the House of Representatives or for Congress, they are not meant to just take that power and do what they want to do. They are meant to be your voice on a national level, and they're meant to vote in your interest. So when I look up here, I'm going to go from what is this? Pew Research Center, CNN, and the Los Angeles Times. I think some of those are obviously liberal leaning. We can go off of the actual facts and we don't have to guess. If you go against this, then you're just saying, I don't trust the data, and you live in no nonsense land. This ain't for you. According to this, most Americans highly support having an ID to vote, voting ID being required to even go to those polls. 95% of Republicans and 71% of Democrats. The fact that this is being held up at all whatsoever shows that we have representatives that don't actually represent their people. The SAVE Act, I even have that pulled up here in front. I'm not going to read the entire thing for you, but it's not like they have a bunch of stuff hidden in there that liberals don't like. This one's actually pretty cut and dry as far as bills go, still incredibly long, and it focuses highly on having voter ID, on making sure that you have a passport, birth certificate. It even goes through a list of all the things on here that will actually qualify for having an ID. The fact that we have individuals in power who are doing what they want to do and not what their people want to do have shown the massive flaws in the American government, and it should be an indication of how dangerous our future is going to get when we as a people have forgotten that this is our country. It is not the federal government's country. By Constitution, it belongs to the people. So when the people are not being represented, I know we have some people in the comment section who hate this. I would love on Thursday, this is my challenge to anyone who is out there. If you absolutely despise the SAVE Act, you think that IDs are racist, that it's not really necessary, please come back to a righteous perspective on Thursday. Call in. Let's have an actual adult conversation about it, because from my perspective, this is the easiest one that there is. We can get deep into legal immigration. We can get deep into racism. We can get deep into Christianity. But this is an easy lick, and I'd love to have that chat with you. So consider this an official challenge. I'm calling you out on it.
Outstanding. We'll be right back with Gutter Bunny of the Week. Shout out to you guys, man. Hit that like button.
Gutter Bunny of the Week. Yeah. We loud, we bring the heat. Hey, hey. Hope it jumping out their feet. Hey, hey. It's Gutter Bunny of the Week. Hey, hey. Gutter Bunny of the Week.
So everyone, we are back with Gutter Bunny of the Week, and you guys did so well this week, because I know y'all were the last few weeks y'all were struggling with all the above, which we couldn't do. So let's go through our people for this week. We had Miss Abby Phillips. Now we all know Miss Abby Phillips. She's the host on CNN, and we have learned that Abby Phillips said the quiet part out loud. She allowed her bias to take over and basically paint a picture that the attackers were actually trying to attack Mamdani and not the Christian protesters that were out there protesting against Islam. She was trying to paint that picture because this is what CNN does. Let's be real. Look what happened when they put up that post. The post that they had up where they tried to make the two people that were doing the attack sound like two teenagers that came across from Virginia to New York, just, actually Philly to New York for a very peaceful day, just hanging out, and they ran into a whole situation full of lies, because again, CNN is full of what do we call it? The cartoon news network. I think that's what people are calling it now. No, they call it the clown news network. And I 100% agree with you, because they don't give you truth. Outside of Scott Jennings, I don't know what y'all gonna do. So I heard a bird in the air that maybe Scott Jennings may get his own show, and we support it, because outside of that, we need to get rid of Abby Phillips. She has 400,000 viewers. Let us get rid of her, because 400,000 people are getting filled with misinformation, brain rot, and this is why they walk around crazy like they do. So that is Abby Phillips for y'all. Then we have Miss Cheryl Underwood. So last week, The View had on Elizabeth Hasselbeck. Elizabeth Hasselbeck was holding their feet to the fire. She was calling out all their mess. She was destroying the View hosts, and we were here for every bit of it. But of course,
that was too much for them. Okay. So they had to call in their old buddy, Cheryl Underwood. Now, Cheryl, they made sure to tout that she is a lifelong Republican. They wanted to just really push that out there. Yet, with just a little bit of research, you could see that Cheryl Underwood supported Barack Obama. She said she supported Bill Clinton. She said she also supported Biden and Kamala Harris. I don't know what kind of Republican that is. But you see, they're not stupid. They did that on purpose because they wanted to bring in a minority face, a black face, right? And have her say that she's a lifelong Republican and she doesn't agree with Trump, and push that narrative out there, because all they do is lie. Like I told y'all, the people on the left, their native language is lying. Okay. So that is Cheryl Underwood for y'all. And she has been just weak the entire time that she's been there. And I'm glad she's hopefully gone next week because I'm sick of seeing her. Next, we have Jamal Bryant. Oh my goodness, y'all. Look, we already said Jamal Bryant could literally have be on the gutter bunny of the week every week. Jamal Bryant, as y'all know, for a whole year and some, he was doing this entire movement of doing a Target fast because of DEI initiatives and how they're hurting Black people and so on and so forth, right? And so he spoke to his church and then he made it a whole thing. Now, you would think that if he was going to do quote unquote a fast from Target, it would have been when they were pushing the LGBTQ clothing and stuff on children and on babies. But no, Jamal was all support of that. He didn't care about that. But when DEI was removed, then he decided to amp up all of the Black community. Now, mind you, I know people that work at Target, Black and brown people that work at Target, using Jamal's language. And when they started doing these fasts, do you know that a lot of these Black and brown people's hours were cut? Do you know that a lot of the products that were on store shelves weren't getting bought because of some of these things? Because he told the Black and brown people to stop supporting because of DEI. Mind you, DEI showed that it favors white lesbian women. That's what it was about. So why was Jamal Bryant fighting about this? Nobody knows. Instead of preaching the word of God, and mind you, fasting is for God. It is not for your Black civil rights movement. That's not what it's about. But mind you, all of a sudden this week, Jamal Bryant comes out of nowhere and says, the fast is over. What do you mean the fast is over? He said, I had a great conversation with the people at Target and we're good. Well, why is it that it's good? Now, allegedly, everyone is wondering if Jamal Bryant got a nice payday, and that's why all of a sudden the fast is done with no outcomes, no resolutions, because Target said they still are not reversing DEI. They're keeping it exactly the way it is, no DEI. So why, pray tell, riddle me that, Batman? Why did he stop? But we can only have one gutter bunny rat of the week. Is there a drum roll today? No. Belongs to Senate Majority Leader John Thune, because John Thune is a rhino. Okay. Now, when he got that role, I was really upset because I did not understand why they put him there. You had Rick Scott there, but they put him in there, and I'm like, why is this man there? He is weak. He's not doing his job. And he's saying that he doesn't have enough votes when we clearly saw that many Republicans said that they would support it. And they said if it gets on the floor this day, that they would support it. And they never brought it to the floor. John never brought it to the floor. And then he was on the news trying to make excuses why he won't bring it to the floor. And we all know we need the SAFE Act to get into place because we need free and fair elections. This is what we keep talking about. When you have old Chucky boy, Chuck Schumer, out here yelling that tens of billions of people will be removed from the voter rolls, and we only have 300 million people living in America, you have to wonder why they're fighting not to put it on. I'm talking about John Thune. Why wouldn't he want to put it on? Because Chuck Schumer just told you what they're doing. But John Thune is going to be a wet blanket hiding. And this is why I will remind y'all before I go. Elections have consequences. Use your midterms correctly. Investigate each and every person that is running for office. See what they stand for. Go to a forum and ask questions. Don't support them just because they have an R behind their name, because an R doesn't mean anything. An R can mean rhino. Make sure that their values align with your values and they want the best for America, because I'm going to remind you, if America is destroyed, where else are you all going to go? Where are we going to go? Because this is our homeland. And that is Gutter Bunny of the Week. I hope y'all enjoyed it. And we will be back next week with a new round of Gutter Bunnies to go along with. Later.
Gutter Bunny of the Week. Yeah. We loud, we bring the heat. Hey, hey. Hope it jumping out their feet. Hey, hey. It's Gutter Bunny of the Week. Hey, hey. Gutter Bunny of the Week.
All right, welcome back. All right, any thoughts on the Gutter Bunny of the Week?
I agree with Wise. Jamal Bryant could honestly be up there every single week.
I'm sorry. Hey, you know how the Wheel of Fortune, they give you letters automatically now when you're playing Wheel of Fortune.
I do.
Jamal Bryant could automatically be on there.
Yeah.
Now he might not be selected every week, but he could almost be guaranteed to be on there.
Yes, he can.
Hands down.
Yeah,
So
almost every week. How much money do you think he got? This is the hustle. Y'all do know this, right?
$5
This
million.
is the hustle. This has been done before. They put together these protests. They shake down a company. The company says, all right, man, stop with this. What is it going to cost for you? Cost to get you to go away.
Yep.
Oh, 10,000, 20,000, 50,000, 100,000. What is that number? He got a big bag.
I'm gonna say $2 million.
That's what everybody's saying. Like he hasn't come out, but they're all saying it because he says, "Oh, hey, we've come to a resolution," and Target was like, "Yeah, no, we're not putting DEI back." So I don't know what he's talking about. We're done.
Yeah, well, the resolution was he got paid off. This is the hustle. This is the hustle. They've been doing this for a very long time, shaking down companies for a very long time. This is the hustle.
Jamal Bryant, he lost me when on Christmas of last year, I did a deep dive and explained Christmas, Santa, the tree. Crystal, you remember all of that. And I remember his message to his congregation was the usual, right? Christmas is evil. The Christmas tree is evil. And I took a step back and I looked at it. I was like, it sounds great. You hear it all the time, but it's not actually true. And I would expect a pastor to actually do his research. And then I think he's the same one whose wife cosplays as a prostitute. And I was just like, no, I can't do this.
Tell us how you really feel.
Hey, he rose his hand and said, I am a pastor, which means I am a shepherd of God's people. You can come to me and I will do everything I can to put you on the path of righteousness for righteousness' sake. He does not do that. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and tell the truth about quote unquote Pastor Jamal Bryant.
Again, Jamal Bryant is running a show.
He is.
They have a performance on Sunday. If you would like to see the performance on Sunday, he's excellent. He's starring in the show on Sunday. That is what he is. He is not a reverend. He is not discipling anyone. He's not a spiritual guy. He is an activist who acts in a show on Sundays at his church. And so you can go there to that church building and watch the show and pay the cover.
Yeah.
That's all that is.
That's all it is. You're right.
I think this is one of those situations where people, people will say a lot of stuff, but the internet is kind of its own thing, right? Because I only know one guy in real life who was actually, part of this boycott. And this is a guy who probably wasn't shopping at Target to begin with. I mean, most of the other folks I know, if I have a conversation with them, they tell me they don't even know that this is even a thing. So I don't really know if it's, I know Roly Poly Oly will say, well, yeah, this is a hit Target big time. I'm not sure if I really buy that that's the case, that there's a correlation.
Yeah, to be fair, Target stock has gone down.
Yeah.
However, Target stock was grossly inflated after 2020. So to Rashad's point, I don't know if it's a correction. I don't know if it was really had something to do with it. Now, let's also keep in mind, there have been other protests going on, like that foolishness going on in Minnesota, where they shut down an entire Target because they'd been in there protesting. And that had nothing to do with DEI or DIE policies at all. So it was about ICE. So, Target has had 2025, 2026 has not been the best for Target. But let's just be honest. Yeah.
Like if you remember the Home Depot, I mean, they were trying to boycott that because they were allegedly helping the Trump administration or something, and Home Depot is definitely doing good, right? I mean,
Home Depot
I don't know,
has never been struggling.
I guess I just there might be some loose correlation, but there's not been proven causation.
I can say this. I think the initial boycott, not fast boycott, was when Target had the like banding down your children and all the non-binary LGBT.
I didn't go to Target.
Yes, that was when they started boycotting, and that was when that's where I think most of the hurt came from. I don't think it comes from Jamal Bryant's crazy DI guys.
Well, have you seen those prices? I mean, they're outrageous to begin with. Anytime I go there,
we've never been Target shoppers anyway, so I wasn't. We wasn't shopping beforehand.
I was there recently, and I was waiting in line a long time. They busting the doors open in Target. Don't worry. Don't worry about it.
I was like, I hate to say it, I'm a Target shopper.
So hold on, Celeste. Were you waiting in line for a long time because they have 50 registers, but they only opened up 2, or were they actually busy?
Well, that and because there are certain skincare products that I have to get at Target. So yes, I had to wait because that's where I get them. So absolutely.
Shout out to Tyler Reed coming through with the $5 super chat. Says 7 woes on the teachers of law and Pharisees. We need these elected officials should do a refresh. Read.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you to Jeanette with the $2 super chat. Says I like the new look.
Don't gas him up, Jeanette. Don't gas him up anymore.
That's right,
His
Jeanette.
wife already came up here and gave him everything he needed.
Shout out to Patricia coming through with the $5 super chat. Says Luke chapter 10 verse 19. Behold, I have given you authority to tread on serpents and scorpions and over all the power of the enemy, and nothing shall hurt you.
Amen.
Amen to that. Shout out to Captain Jax with the $20 super chat. Says, thank you, Jay Witt, for introducing me to ARP and all of these content creators. This panel always brings their A game, and thank you for always making sure everything aligns with the word of God. Well done.
Amen,
thank you, Captain Jax. Thank you. Shout out to Jeanette with the $2 super chat. Says the SAVE Act has to have citizenship with it. Yeah, we'd agree with that. And the people in the chat are upset because y'all kept calling it the SAVE Act. It's the Save America Act.
I know. I like to abbreviate stuff. I talk so much already as it is.
Yeah. The E and T shop with the $5 super chat says this is a dereliction of duty by breaking their oath of office. Absolutely.
Yes.
I agree. Really?
Absolutely. Shout out to Rudd with the $2 super chat. Says in Islam, Christians and Jews are both non-believers. Yeah. You're considered an infidel. Yeah, absolutely. Shout out to E Big with the $20 super chat. Says prayers for our service members. Absolutely.
Amen.
Let's keep our prayer service members lifted up in prayer. I don't want to hold on to you guys, but I want to play this last clip because I wanted to get into it and I want to get your thoughts. There is another clip going around of a traffic stop going bad, and I want to hear from you guys. Who's at fault? Is it the cop? Was he too aggressive, or was it the young lady who I guess wouldn't comply? I want you guys to see this. We don't have to spend too much time on it. Let's just keep it brief.
Citation as far as the bills, you don't want to take it?
No.
Well, you're taking it because it's your citation.
I don't want it.
That's your citation. That's your citation. That's your citation. That's littering. Step out of the car.
No, don't do that. Step off my car. I'm not stepping out.
Mom, chill out.
I'm not just yes. I'm not touching.
Mom, please chill out. Mom, please chill out. Mom,
don't touch me. I'm not stepping out of shit. Call your motherfucking supervisor. You're not the supervisor. Call your supervisor. A supervisor. I'm not stepping out of nothing.
Mom, chill out. Please chill out.
Get your hand off me. Get your hand off me. I will step out on the supervisor. I'm not stepping out of nothing. Get your hand off me. Get your hand off me.
I'm not letting go.
You littered. You dropped the ticket, not me.
I put the ticket in the car.
No, you dropped the ticket, not me. You dropped the ticket, not me. Get your hands off me. You're touching me. Give me the ticket. You're touching me forcibly. You're holding me too tight, and you're being out of line. Y'all see this, right?
Sir, I'm sorry. Can she just get the ticket?
No, you stop. Why are you holding my arm like
because
this?
I gave you the
Why?
ticket.
No, you did not. You dropped the ticket, not me. I told you I did not want it. You dropped it. You dropped it. You're doing too much. I'm not afraid of you. Get your hand off of me. You're holding me forcibly for no reason.
Because you need to step out of the car.
Get your fucking hands off me.
Step out of the car.
No,
Mom, is there anything I can do to get you to comply? Look, Mom, he just said take the ticket and leave. He said take the ticket and leave.
No, I did not. You did that.
He said
so when your colonel gets here, then I will step out. I have my child with me. I'm not getting out of the... You have a supervisor, okay?
I am the supervisor.
So when your supervisor gets here, then I will step out of the car. Call someone else to come here. There is someone else.
Not right now.
There is someone else. Let me call 911. Get your phone.
Wait, please, sir, stop. Stop, wait, stop. Mom, chill out, Mom. Wait, stop, sir, please stop. Wait, stop, please stop. Wait, stop, sir, stop, please. Wait, please, stop. No, stop, please, I'm scared, stop. Wait, stop, please. Wait, please, stop, sir. Wait, stop, please. Wait, please, stop. Wait, stop, please. Okay, wait, I can get out, please, it's so touch
So tonight I do on Friday nights I do body cam watch parties. And we kind of go over body cam. Some of them are fun and it's such like that. But there is a trend, and this woman is I don't think the officer was wrong, but I'm sure somebody's gonna find some error in it. You're giving very clear directions and in the such of that nature. Whether you like them or not is not up for debate and discussion. It's not time to argue this on the side of the road. You're not going to fix it. And I hate to say it, but once a police officer puts his hands on you, it's not going to change.
Yeah.
They're not going to unhand themselves and you're going to drive off and go to Krispy Kreme. No, you're going to take a ride. It's just not going to be in the car that you were driving a moment ago. You're going to be chauffeured to the county. Just stop. You can argue this in court. And I hate to see it because you'll watch this. And then if you go follow the case, come find out all the charges were dropped and the lady just had to pay the fine. So you can still argue this. The arguing on the side of the road is the wrong thing to do. It doesn't go well. I'm sorry. There's no other way around it. You're not going to make it better. Oh yeah, I'm gonna fight with the police and he's just going to let me go, shut my door and say, have a great day. It's never going to happen like that. Stop it. Now, could she have just taken the ticket? And the man, truth be told, I kind of wonder because he did say, if you take the ticket, you can go. If she just said, okay, fine. Can I have the ticket? Took the ticket and left. Now that maybe that would have been a change of issue. But this right here, again, this is completely on the woman. I'm sorry. She was the catalyst for this shenanigans. Because once the officer told you, he gave you the ticket, he handed it to you, she could have just let it fall on the ground in her car and did whatever. But to put it outside the window, and again, maybe it wasn't really littering, but she was being a butthole, I'm pretty sure already. If you read the caption, it said he already had her driver's license. So she wasn't going anywhere because he still had her license. So it's just bad, but I'm sorry, that woman was 85-90% of the problem.
Crystal, we'll give you the next word. What are your thoughts?
So I have 100 people on that post attacking me on X. I'm called a bedwench and a coon and everything else is associated right now with that because I said that what that woman did, like blaming the cop, is crazy work to me in this situation. The reason why I said blaming the cop is crazy work, I'm not saying the cop wasn't rough, whatever. But the thing is, everybody's yelling, he's racist. Okay. Let's play devil's advocate. Let's just say the cop is racist. Why would you do anything to irritate the cop? If you believe, because she claims, because she was pulled over for speeding, when you go through it, she was pulled over for speeding and she's getting the ticket for speeding. She said, I feel like the cop picked on me because I'm black. You know, that whole victim mentality thing. So he pulled her over, gave her a ticket because she's black. And instead of if you felt the cop was racist, to me, shut up, take your ticket and go fight it in court. This is something I've always said. Do not try and fight this on the side of the road. Live to see another day. Take it to court and deal with the situation. But to be out here literally having an attitude, basically throwing the ticket right back out. And when he walked up, if you pay attention, he was nice. He handed her the ticket, and I think that the license was there, but he was handing her back, and she threw the thing back out the car. You're being nasty for no reason. When he tells you, and you're telling him, I'm not afraid of you, take your hands off of me. Now you are being combative for no reason. And the worst part, as I said, which makes everybody, maybe it's just something about me that really irritates people, but whatever. Me saying, shut up, AT. me saying that she's a terrible example to her son because her son was sitting in the car there with her. She's sitting.
And he did tell her a couple of times, Mom, calm down. It's okay.
Exactly. So what kind of example are you being to your son? Because if your son watches this and then emulates this and then your son loses his life, then you're going to be holding your head crying. Why would they do this to my baby? But you taught him how to be like that because you couldn't control yourself. You couldn't just be respectful, take the ticket and go about your business, go fight it in court. I mean, listen, my middle name could be Sue because I believe in suing. Okay? That's how I believe. I believe in suing. So listen, everybody over there on the Lord's internet on X that wants to call me bedwench and coon and all them other things, that's ridiculous.
This young lady and probably her son should take the King Randall class on how to conduct yourself in a traffic stop. Do y'all recall that was on X about a year ago?
Yeah.
And he was, those young men that are a part of the X Academy for Boys, he was walking them through. They had a police there. Hey, this is how you conduct yourself, on the side of the road. If you're ever stopped by the police, she need to take that class. And the crazy part about it is he was teaching these young men and they were calling him, Sambos and Uncle Toms and this, that, and the third for teaching these young men how to be respectful towards the police and how to conduct themselves properly in a daggone stop. I think this is just a running theme, right now amongst some folks in the community that, hey, if I feel wrong because I was speeding, but you only pulled me over because there was 3 other white people that sped right by us while you had me pulled over, and I can just cut a fool, and you're not allowed to do anything. I think it's just so ridiculous.
Why, I'm sorry. Have you ever been assaulted by a cop? I mean, has anybody in this? Because I know I've always treated the cops with such respect. They actually took the ticket back. They're like, you know what? We'll take it back. We'll take it back. I'm sorry, officer. I didn't realize the speech. It's okay. You know what? Don't worry about it. Have a nice day. Have y'all ever had these bad run-ins like this?
I can say since I haven't been thugging and bugging, no. But there was a time, you know what I'm saying, when I had my fair share of run-ins with DeKalb County Police Department, who just so happened to be majority black. I'm just saying, I grew up in DeKalb County, and when I was out in the streets cutting up and acting the fool, I had a few times, when I was accosted, but I deserved it, because I was cutting up and acting the fool. But I also understood, like, one, you can't tussle with the police. Don't do that. So when they tell you to get down, you get down. But I've had guns drawn on me a couple of times. Because hey, I thought I was a street dude, man. Once upon a time. Rashad, I'll give you the next word. What are your thoughts?
Boy, oh boy, it's a sensitive topic for a number of reasons, but I mean, it sounds to me almost like some of those people criticize this man trying to teach our youth to be respectful of the police. I mean, to them, I just say it sounds to me like y'all want black folks to get killed out here.
Mm-hmm.
Like y'all don't value y'all value pride and ego over life, because that pride and ego don't get you nowhere. All it gets you is a bunch of tears, somebody crying and traumatized forever, which is just sad, and that's all that's going to happen. To Crystal's point about racism and you're calling people all these names and all this stuff. If there's this is what I tell everyone, because I have these conversations with people about, oh, somebody's racist, at my job, or I mean, whatever it is, and I'm like, well, if there's, maybe you're right, maybe you're wrong. If there's no evidence of it, then it's a moot point. It doesn't even matter, even if it's true. If there's no evidence of it, then move on. It could have happened with a black cop, and then what you gonna say? Mm-hmm. So there's that. Was a cop in the wrong? I mean, maybe. I mean, I saw some of the captions appear to say some things you shouldn't do. But here's the thing. It doesn't even matter if the cop was wrong. Who's the person with the authority? Who's the person with the weapon? Who's the person who's going to win if there's an altercation? It's not going to be you if you're, acting a fool back with the cop. If the cop acts a fool and you act a fool back, who's going to win? We all know that the cop's going to win that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even in some of those more woker areas, they still support the cop. They don't not support cops at all. They still support the cops. They're going to try to say they didn't do anything wrong, so you're just going to put yourself in a worse situation. And here's where I think the biggest mistake was. This lady's in front of her son. Dude's begging. I was cool at first. When I saw the son begging her to stop, that kind of started tearing at me. I'm thinking okay, what if this was my mom? What if she would have got killed? What if the cop would have just drew his gun? Then what would have happened? You think this lady would have calmed down? Probably not. She could have got killed over this in front of her son, all because of some foolishness. It's like, is it worth, I'm not afraid of you. Lady, you should be afraid. If somebody could kill you in front of your son, stop what you're doing.
Yep.
Focus on life. Focus on being there to continue to raise your son and be there for him for the rest of your life that you were given by God. Don't waste what you were given because you mad and you feel some type of way. That I think is very sad. I don't care if the cop was wrong or not. This lady was wrong for what she was doing because, number one, she almost wasted her own life. And number two, she has a family and a child to think about. So she's definitely wrong for not putting that at the forefront over her feelings at that moment.
Excellent.
Yes, and I'm going to be quick. I just want to say, Jay Witt, if you have extended an invitation to me on Friday nights, my answer is no, because I couldn't take this. So there's no way I can sit with you on Fridays.
It's okay. That's why you be leaving me on red anyway. You already leave me on red.
It's not my ministry. I'm not going to be able to handle that because these people wore me out. First of all, let me start with this. The lady in the car. Did you see? Maybe he dropped the ticket. Maybe he didn't. I tend to think he didn't, but I'd be willing to look at the tape again. How did she reach for the ticket? She took these two fingers, and what did you see that? She took these two fingers, so he's thinking she's open-handed, gonna receive the ticket. She positioned herself in a way that would make it least likely for her to receive and control that piece of paper. So he hands it off. She tries to receive it between two fingers. It falls. And now she makes that the justification for all of her bad behavior after that. What is it called? Suicide by cop is an actual thing. Y'all should look that up.
Yes,
There
yeah.
are people who want to get into conflicts with police because they are hoping the police shoot or kill or something. They themselves don't have the ability to take themselves out. This woman looks like she was in the middle of trying to get into a suicide by cop. But I am 100% with Rashad on this. I was fine. Again, this is that emotionalism run amok with no counterbalance. If you just let these emotions spin and spin and spin, their ultimate place is dangerous. We can see that she put herself in danger. That's not an argument. But God forbid her son had retreated to his natural instincts and tried to defend his mother. The cops could have shot the son. Okay, because most men know they can subdue a woman. So they're least likely, they're not going to always just reach for the gun because they know they can probably subdue her without it. But if you have her plus the son jumps in, that changes the equation. Now you've got to probably escalate the level of force that's going to come into play in this situation. To me, her behavior was not only dangerous to herself, that's her choice, but it was also dangerous to her son. It was reckless to be in a car sitting right next to your son behaving that way. You were practically daring somebody to do something to your son. If your son had flinched or moved or coughed or sneezed, God forbid, something could have happened to him. And then you would have been the one standing around in black and in dark shades crying about, oh, what the police had done to your son. No, that's what you would have done to your son. I'm going back to say, women who are unable, I wrote about this in this book. In my book, I wrote about it in terms of poor people. Those of you who have read it understand that I define poor people as those who have a spiritual lack or deficit. But poor people, most often you can recognize them because they are people who have no impulse control and who teach low and no impulse control to their children. This was a textbook case of how poor people interact in public spaces.
Yes.
All right. Well, I think we can get out of here on that note, unless somebody wants to add anything else.
I just want the people in the chat because they're saying she's going to call Ben Crump. No, she called Lee Merritt. That's what she called.
Oh, Lee Merritt. Oh, well, you know it was going to be one of the two. So,
Mm-hmm.
Some of this, I think, are, people think like, hey, this is an opportunity to get a bag. Maybe the police department will settle and, she'll walk away with 40, 50 grand or more. So crazy, man. So crazy. Let me read a couple super chats and we'll get out of here. Thank you to MCM21 RN with the $10 super chat. Says, you all bring a smile to my face. Thank you for everything you do. Spread the word. Amen.
Amen.
Shout out to Young Brew coming through with the $5 super chat. Says Jamal and
Sodomite
Brian.
How do you really feel?
Yeah, tell us how you really feel. Was handed that circus by another well-known, of course, and our people are being misled by clowns. Yeah. That's been the case at that church for a very long time, unfortunately. That has been the church. Captain Jacks with the $5 super chat. As law enforcement, we don't hold court on the side of the road. Comply now, complain later. Yeah. Yeah. You need to take that King Randall class. Shout out to Young Brew again with the $20 super chat. Says, I'm so tired of people using the word coon. The real definition comes from the word barracoon. If you knew the real meaning, all you pro-blacks would stop using it.
Read.
Okay. Read a book or two. Stop being ignorant. Laws of the land. Yeah. Shout out to Mark with the $10 super chat. Says, not many people have been pulled over more than I. Hands on wheel, all windows open. Yes, sir. No, sir. Helps a lot. Once I only was 2 miles over the speed limit. I'm white, old, and gray hair. Yeah. And shout out to Sunny Wright coming through with the $2 super sticker. Being respectful will get you a long ways. Yes, sir. No, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. No, sir. That type of stuff, man, it will get you a long ways. And don't lie. Be respectful. Don't lie. Yeah. You got me. You'll get about it.
It helps keep you alive. I know that.
Yeah, for sure.
Right.
Get your ticket. Get up on out of there. Maybe more times than not, if you're polite, like Crystal said, you'll get a warning. They're like, man, slow it down. You keep it moving. But we appreciate you guys pulling up, man. Rashad, thank you so much, man, for coming and hanging out with us today. Sorry we went a little overtime, but that normally is the case, when we get these long-winded people. Celeste at 18.
I thought we was going to 12:30.
He straight up skipped me for the last video, y'all. Y'all noticed that, right? He let everybody else go. He ain't even call on me, right? He said, I'm not dealing with this dude anymore. He talks way too much.
It's okay, ATs, because your light brightness was blending in with that wall, so it was hard for him.
He didn't see me. That's what it is. He didn't even see me down here.
Y'all are mad.
AT, we can form our own subgroup.
We need to. We need to, Celeste. I like the topic of body cam footage too. I love body cam footage.
I'm like, I want to get in and out of this. Let's be brief, and then Celeste goes on a 30 minutes diatribe.
Chad, you see how they do me, right?
Celeste, we were clowning about that one. He said, hey, y'all, I just want to make this one little segment quick. Celeste, I'm going to let you go first. So when we look at what's going on here, I would like to start my dissertation with my opening thesis.
Not my opening thesis. Wow, man.
And what's worse is we love it too. We love when Celeste talks.
No, it was great. This is great. It was great.
It's been 5 hours, but I love this.
I'm like,
He said 5 hours is crazy.
Celeste, you got to come join me because I've been on Jay Witt's body cam the Friday night,
God.
and it is hilarious because it's not crazy like that. He
Yeah.
has had some real hilarious.
I got some
All right,
good
this
ones
is what I'm
today.
gonna do. I'm gonna
I'm not watching
hydrate
tonight.
and I'll try once. I'm gonna be
She
strong.
said she's gonna
I'll
hydrate
hydrate.
Jay Witt. She's
Yes,
about to come
so
up
I
here
can
and
get ready.
absolutely take the
I gotta
entire show.
fortify. Okay.
What is hydrate about? Y'all
I
wild.
can't be up there, not up to
You
par. I
talk
gotta
a
get
lot. I'm with
ready.
her on that one. You talk a lot. My followers always tell me, drink water, AT, drink water.
I'm sorry, I was his water girl. I literally had to tell his wife, get him some water, please. He's talking too much and he hasn't drank any water. He's going to topple over on the screen.
Not topple over. That's crazy work.
What was my record?
man.
Talking straight, no interruptions. What was it, like 6-7 hours on TikTok
Yes.
that one day? Yeah.
Yes.
Goodness gracious.
Wow.
Mhm.
Impressive.
That's impressive. That's very impressive.
That's
On
different.
TikTok of all places, dealing with crazy people.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's impressive. But appreciate you guys pulling up. AT, Jay Witt, as always, Crystal and Celeste. Of course, thank you guys so much for hanging out with us today. Shout out to all the Blues, man, helping to keep things peaceful in the chat, man. We appreciate you guys as well. All my
For
ARP
sure.
family members, thank you guys so much for pulling up and hanging out with us for, close to 3 hours today, man. Shout out to you guys. And everybody that supported the channel financially today, all the new ARP family
Absolutely.
members and all the folks that supported via Super Chat, super thanks, man. We greatly appreciate you guys as well. Shout out to those that also support the channel via Cash App. We appreciate you guys. Eric Plummer is a real one. And shout out to Kenny Cooper, man. Y'all know Kenny Cooper is a baller. Hey, Crystal, Kenny Cooper is single, just so you know. And he
Don't stay trying to marry me off.
He is looking for a wife. Hey,
Where-
you said you're looking for a God-fearing man. He is a God-fearing man.
That's right.
He owns a
Available.
He's just trying to help
business.
you out.
That's right.
He
It
owns
ain't
a
never good enough,
business.
Crystal.
I
It
love
never good
Kenny
enough.
Cooper. I love Kenny Cooper, but I need my man to be present. I'm sorry.
He
is
never
on
said
the
he
road
wouldn't
a lot.
move.
To be what?
I
Well,
need
he
my
lives
man
in,
to be
Kenny
present.
Cooper lives in Georgia. He's
Yeah,
in
but
Georgia.
He's a trucker. I
Yeah,
can't
he's
like I
always
need
on
my
the
man
road.
to be present.
Girl, you
How
better
dare
look.
he be responsible for
How
maintaining
dare
the
he have a
justice
job?
framework of the United
Yeah.
States of America?
You are sounding like Ebony K. Williams, girl. You
like the
channeling your
color.
inner Ebony K over here.
And Crystal, he actually owns the truck. Ebony K said, hey,
And
if he owns the bus, he actually owns the truck.
Why is he
Watch
speeding
out,
people
B.
and he's
Simone.
entrepreneurial?
Watch out, B. Simone.
No, I'm just saying I like to cuddle at night. You know what I'm saying? And my husband away and I can't cuddle. That's a
This is
problem.
Your
going way
husband's
off the
away
rails.
doing great stuff. So I got to ask a question. I'm so sorry. So, Crystal, you wouldn't date a service member?
No, I did. And that's why
What branch?
my baby girl is a
What branch?
they call it?
Crystal,
Army.
what branch?
A spring
Army.
summer twin? Wait, what do they call it?
What
I
branch?
want to call it a ghetto twin. A
No, what
spring
branch,
summer-
Crystal?
Huh?
What branch was
Army.
he in?
He was
Army.
Army.
That's your
Army.
mistake right there. I'll be the first one to say it. Every
He said that
soldier
was
in
your
that comment
mistake.
section will
It's
agree with me.
crazy
That's your
work.
mistake.
He was Army here in Georgia, and that's why my daughter has a brother who is a month and a half younger than her.
Uh-oh.
So again, I prefer my man that I can have access to when I want to.
Shot,
That's
turn your
all.
camera off.
He
bro.
has to also have a really good job.
Don't
Has
do
to
the
also
math.
be a
I
man
feel
of
like you
Christ. Has
just
to
went
also be
somewhere
all
else.
these things.
That's Wise's fault.
You know what you should do, Wise? Wise or Jay Witt should do this.
He
Y'all
did
should get
say
that
that.
thing that shows the percentage of people and see how unrealistic Crystal's expectations are. It's got to be like 0.0001% of the populace.
I'm sure.
Wise said he's going to have a dating show. I will give him all of my lists.
A list?
Oh.
All of the lists?
Yes, Wise. I've been dealing with this. You're going to have to find
not
somebody
one
from
list,
Africa,
all the
and she still
lists.
won't be able to marry
Wise,
you.
you know I want to co-host.
Golly.
I absolutely want to co-host that.
You want to co-host the dating show? We got to do ARP dating show.
Yes,
We can do that. We can do that. We've done dating shows before. You remember that, Crystal? That was a fun time.
Yeah. By the way, I just want y'all to know, AT got married off of a dating show. He met his wife on the dating
Dang.
show that we were on.
Dang,
What's up?
she shut you
100%.
down.
Absolutely did. I'm not even sad about
He
it. That's
did,
why you
yeah.
need to get on that dating show, Crystal. You could be just like me.
No, because the people that rolled up in there, they were problematic. Absolutely not.
Very true.
You remember a girl even tried to date me after
I remember her
that, so,
name.
yeah,
I
I'm
absolutely
not doing
do. Matter of fact, that same night after she hit on you, she reached
Look
out to
at
me and
Jay
hit on me.
Witt's face. Oh,
Listen, where's this show gone, man? Can we end this,
This thing
man?
is like,
What
this
is
thing
How
this?
is
is
this
going
where's
left.
this show gone, my
This thing
thing?
is
That was
going
Wise's
left.
fault.
It's
that's
Wise's
what
fault.
she'll do
Wise
on
over here trying to
TikTok.
parking lot pimp Crystal. We had to talk about it.
Wow.
Kid bro, I
Is
promise.
Kenny
I don't
even
have,
in the chat?
no,
Is
I just
Kenny
want to say,
even
Kid
here?
Bro, I am not. I don't have lists. My thing nowadays, I ask a man, "Are you a God fearing man? Like you really have a relationship with Jesus?
Kenny does.
Do you support conservative values?
Kenny does.
And
He does.
do you
Have a
have
job.
children? And if you don't have children, do you want children?
Kenny's mature. I know what you're looking for,
So
Crystal.
those
Kenny's
are
good to go.
what I usually ask a man, and then after everything else we can figure out. But those up there, that's a
Heard that lie.
requirement.
Y'all heard that lie. She said everything else we can figure out. Y'all remember that?
No, I mean if we could get along. No, AT. I just mean if we
Oh.
could get along. If we could
That's
get
just
along.
to get in the door, is what you're saying, Crystal.
Yes, those are.
Then
the,
once
those
you
are
get into the
questions
door,
I
then you got the laundry list of things they got to do once they get into the door.
Oh Lord,
I hate that.
Oh Lord.
Yes.
Deb also said that she wants to be. She said she's single. She want to be a part of the dating show. Oh Lord.
Ain't no way
We're
Deb was
gonna
single. I
get,
could've
we're gonna get a
sworn Deb
backlog
was
up in
married.
here,
She
man.
nice.
We could do it.
I gotta put.
Why
Hey,
you
I have to. I have to
dating
put a. Have to put a community post out there. We're gonna have to. We have to. Hey, ARP dating show. We'll work on that for the
ARP
next quarter.
dating show is crazy.
We'll
think it'd
work
be
on that for the
fantastic.
next quarter, man. ARP
love it.
dating show.
Hey,
We'll
don't
work-
forget
we'll
about
work
AT.
on it
I
for the next
love
quarter.
dating. It's fun to get people together. I actually do believe in love. I love it.
We need somebody like that has a cynicalism like Jay Witt. I think you can come right in that lane and be like, nah, that
Captain
ain't.
Jack, yes, I would date a good Christian cop. People are asking me yes, I would date a good Christian cop. Yes, I would.
Y'all are a mess. Y'all are a mess, but
yeah,
it would be
we called
entertaining. It would be very
it would be.
entertaining.
It would be.
Thank you,
It
Papa
would be.
God. Yes, leave the duffel bags at the door. I'm never dealing with duffel bags ever again.
Y'all understand? Crystal fumbles every single man.
What's a duffel bag? What's a duffel bag?
You don't remember the duffel bag, Jason? You were here for that.
Oh, Papa died.
he wasn't.
Yes.
This
Yes.
was
No, he wasn't. He wasn't there. He wasn't there for
I wasn't
the
invited. I wasn't invited.
He
to
was
it.
invited a multitude of times. He just didn't
No, I
pull
wasn't.
up.
No,
Let's just
He
put it
just
this
ain't
way.
pull up.
Wise don't want to
Jay
admit when
Witt.
he doesn't invite me.
Jay Witt, let's just put it this way. Somebody moved into my house with a duffel bag and never told me he was moving in my house. And then I had to put him on a bus to another state. Yeah.
Oh.
Wow.
Well,
Yeah,
it could have
it's
been
a
worse.
long
He just
story,
came
but
with an
yeah.
actual duffel bag. You know, most guys they
true.
come in, you know, with the black garbage bags. You know what I'm saying? So
Don't let Crystal fool y'all. She has men ready to move from across the country to just to get to know her, not even to be with her. And Crystal's like, the sun's out today and my back is hurting. I don't really feel like love today. I'm just gonna complain about it tomorrow.
I would explain it, but everyone would say I was long-winded, so I'm not. Crystal, I understand you, girl. I understand.
Thank you.
Oh.
So at least you understand.
Yes,
Listen. Sometimes I will say things just not to hurt somebody's feelings. Let's just be real. I just don't want to hurt their feelings. Like
You
that's
don't
it.
say stuff to hurt someone's feelings. You remember how you went off on Jim last night?
yeah, you went in on Jim yesterday.
I didn't get a chance to even talk to Jim because of you,
That's
Crystal.
different types of feelings.
That was a different thing.
That's a different type of
I always appreciate that no matter what Crystal or Celeste says.
we got company over, man. Rashad, like, man,
That's
what
true.
is
Hey,
going
Rashad, it's been
on,
like-
man? What is going on? What are y'all doing?
I'm chilling. I'm just taking it all in. So,
Bruh.
Y'all can't be saying
I'm never coming back.
Y'all
I
can't be saying this stuff in
apologize,
front of
Rashad.
Rashad.
On
Because
behalf
y'all can't be saying this stuff in front of Rashad or Jay Witt since they live here. They might put out a whole warning signal when it comes to me. Y'all got they be like,
Why can they not put out the word about you that you're
No,
a
we-
wonderful
we-
individual that's available? They could be advocating for you, Crystal.
We might
Yeah,
advocate for you. We
Yeah.
could.
Rashad, are you a
a
single guy? Are you a single guy, Rashad?
Yeah, I am.
Hey, Rashad.
Oh,
let me tell
are you
about
looking
my friend
for a wife?
Rashad. Yeah.
So there's a story behind that. It's short, but I actually just got out of a serious situation. So
Sorry to hear that.
I'm not really dating a whole lot at this point. So
Shouldn't
I'm
date, you
pretty
should court
much
anyways,
like
man.
we friends is pretty much where everybody ends up. So
You know who you should be friends with? Crystal Beyond Labels.
oh my God.
so hold on. We already friends. We met in real life.
We already friends.
Yeah, we met in real life.
Hey, that is the best way, though. You know, you start off as friends. Those are the best relationship. My wife, you know what I'm saying, and that's my girl. But we was cool for like a year, not dating, nothing, seriously, and we were just friends. And then before you know it, it was a year or so after is when we, kind of said, you know what, I kind of like you
what
like
you
that.
like, and
I
you
can
like
switch
what I
sides
like.
with that later, about a year.
And
Give
we
about a
like
year.
each other.
Yeah.
No, Rashad is really cool. We met at that event that we went to. We met
Crystal,
at,
was it the one that you talked about, the dinner and all that stuff?
yeah,
at
the
Filament?
masquerade ball. Mhm.
Oh, very nice. Very nice. Okay. So Rashad, were you taking Crystal out for your friendly date?
Holy cow! Wow, that escalated quickly.
She's gonna call me and yell at me as soon as this is over with. Rashad, don't worry. She gonna get her vengeance.
Oh wow!
What happened? What I missed?
Oh, Rashad said that
Nothing.
he's taking Crystal down to the Sugar Factory down there in Midtown. Not too long.
Rashad, you're more than welcome to come hang out with us later today. You know, if you want to come out, I'll send you the invite if you want to come hang out.
You should, man.
Really interesting.
Look at Crystal White.
She didn't tell me.
Like, oh my gosh.
We're hanging out.
You are down in Atlanta, right, Wise?
Oh,
you're down in Atlanta, right?
Yeah, we're gonna hang out today.
Yeah,
Rashad, all jokes
we're doing
aside,
that
you really should kick it with them. The good group of people, man.
Yeah, where we going?
I can't
Y'all
wait
see
to
how
fuck-
Wise didn't invite me though. Y'all see that, right?
Man, you a lie and a half. Jay Witt, you gotta stop, bro. You gotta stop.
Who all is actually in?
You see, he didn't say anything about your boy though, right? Y'all saw that.
Jay Witt, I know
Did y'all hear?
coming.
Did he invite me? Just want to make sure I know.
No, but I didn't know who all is in Atlanta.
I got the text
Crystal and
messages to prove
Jason.
it.
Celeste is close. Wise
What?
is
No, y'all
visiting.
go ahead and show the text message. I'll show.
I got
I
the
ain't
text messages
scared,
to prove
Cletus.
it. I got the text messages to prove it.
Ooh, this is
What? Go ahead and show
the messages.
Don't
Show the
be
messages.
afraid. Wait, what text message? What you talking about?
Yeah, I did reach out to you yesterday, day before yesterday.
Right,
I told
'cause
you
y'all
we
was going to dinner.
We going to dinner, and I told you
On
come-
Wednesday.
Yeah, that was
Not
Wednesday
today.
for Friday.
How did he reach out to you
Friday.
yesterday for dinner on
Except for
Wednesday,
Friday.
Jason?
For Friday, and I told
No,
you. You said you was doing a
no.
late night live stream, which you had already confirmed that you're doing a live stream today.
Rashad, this
Yeah.
doesn't usually happen. I
Yeah,
promise you.
Jay
It
Witt,
really doesn't.
he the elder statesman over here.
I got your elder statesman.
You
got
put
your
glasses
elder
on to
statesman.
read your phone just now, Jason?
Yeah, he did.
No, I had my
Yeah, he
glasses on
did.
for a minute.
No, Jay Witt, so you're not coming? I thought you were coming.
No, I can't come tonight. No, I got me.
How
and
you
him.
gonna
I'm
act
doing
up
that.
about
Ain't
not being
nobody
invited?
can.
You still can't show up.
I'm doing body cam.
He wanted to be included. That's all.
Hey, you know what? I didn't get an
That's
invite
the kind of
either,
way.
honestly. I'm not gonna be upset about it though.
Because you're gonna catch the plane?
I don't fly on planes. You know this. Come on now.
I'm sorry, you're gonna fly the plane down here to come eat with us?
I would if I had known about it.
Oh my goodness.
Can I say something?
AT, where are you at?
I
in
feel
Montana.
that.
Okay.
I'm right next door.
I feel that if I want to go someplace, I'm flying it. There's something in that I feel.
Oh, I'm not ever unless it is an
Yeah, 'cause
absolute
I'm
like
afraid on a
see your
plane, but I
family
think
before
I
they
feel
pass.
good with you.
I'm not flying on a 757. I know pilots too well. I did that job. I'm not saying it's not safe. Anybody here, don't freak out because I'm saying it. It's just when you know everything that can go wrong and you know the culture, I'd rather just drive or fly myself. But I'm not doing that.
I can
And
do it.
since
With that being
AT is a
said, we're
pilot,
gonna get out of here.
fly us.
Y'all done took the daggone stream. It's
How he gonna
done
say y'all like Wise didn't
2,
start
3,
on-
4 left. You know,
Wise
2,
was
3, 4
saying, "Hey
left.
y'all, it's been great. Thank you for the super chats. Thank you for the mods. By the way, Crystal still single." And then now we're on this conversation.
Well, we appreciate you guys hanging out, man. Thank you guys so much for pulling up, man. Enjoy the weekend. As Crystal said, if it's nice out, go outside, touch some grass, man. Get off these screens for a little bit. Go touch some grass. Go hang out, man. We appreciate you guys. Lord willing, we will be back at this thing on Tuesday, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we look forward to seeing you guys, man. Enjoy the weekend, man. Keep God first. Stay prayed up. We'll catch up with you guys next time. Peace.
It is God who arms me with strength. Yeah, I'm battle ready. He trains my hands for battle. My heart stays steady. But thanks be to God, He gives us the victory. Through my Lord Jesus Christ, fear can't live in me. I was down to the dirt, red clay on my shoes, old pain in my shirt, oh so bruised. In the Lord hit my chest, kicked air from my breath, put power in my step.